traumatic slave syndrome. Page 114. It says the slave family experienced a markedly different form of social organization than any other group on American soil. The individual and family were socialized to endure and survive under extremely oppressive conditions. Generations were born, lived, and died and enslaved in what has been purported to be the freest society in the history of the world. And yet their struggle for freedom, respect, and dignity was attacked at every turn. Every turn. Every time you tried to do something to get yourself up on your feet, you was knocked down. Just like the history of like Black Wall Street and other places, Black places that were prospering, and white people came and burned them down to the ground.
Yeah.
That's right. So it doesn't matter. And then not to mention that we
Mhm.
started out 400 years in the hole.
We were 400 years in a hold, and in every area of society, European society, economics, religion, um, finance,
Everything that would make a civilization.
yeah, medicine. Black people were oppressed at every turn, even when we made progress to get up on our own 2 feet. So we have been, I'm gonna put it like this because I'm a Black woman. We have been in a neurotic state for a very long time.
I agree.
Right.
You're hundred
So,
percent
so
correct.
this is my view. I shared this with Jamie. I may have shared it
Oh,
with Prince too. I may have shared it with Prince too that um let's see, I didn't get his message. I'm trying to check out every indoctrinated area in my life. And what surprises me is still how I gloss over, how I'm aware of, and then I don't make that change because of circumstances, situations I run into and things like that. But the beautiful thing is I'm aware of, right? And I got to look at those indoctrinated areas, and that's what I heard you share, right?
There's Prince.
Yep. So let
yeah.
us let
I had a little power outage. I had a little power outage. The whole block went out of power, and so that's what happened. And my phone was dying, and it didn't have enough charge. So, yeah. But the whole block was
we
out.
already knew something had that happen, man, because I knew you were
Right.
Yeah,
going.
on the day I present. You feel me?
Yeah. I already knew it was something, man. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Queen, for that, and I look forward to you sharing the second week in February.
In February.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So we still doing
just
this,
thought
or
that-
we?
yeah, we're still doing it. Let me just ask her one more question. You in Cleveland, right?
Yes.
Are you familiar with any artisters?
No.
Hey, no. Yeah, I got a bunch of families and artisters in Columbus and in Cleveland and
Okay.
Cincinnati. You know,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, I was thinking about that. So
Okay.
Prince, we ready, baby boy? We ready,
All
King?
right, there we go. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Okay, so today discussion will be about um, what we are, and what we are human beings. Human beings. The definition of being is exist, to exist, to exist. Uh, so this is a discussion about how I'll be talking to my boy Lorenzo and Unc and Jamie about there's two parts to us. We have our human part, which is connected to this earth, and we have a spirit part, which is connected to something that we still are so far from understanding. It is It's just an eye opener. Come on, cat. Oh, the cat. I'm sorry, cat got out again. He's right there. So, um, where I'm going is this. Once we get past the fact that we are of different ethnicities and get back to the core of, like the Bible states, uh, or any religion, seek me first, he says. Seek me first. And I believe when you do that, you have no choice but to find exactly what you're looking for when you look for it. A lot of people say that they want to, they don't care about a lot of things that happen in the world. I got relatives myself that can't handle it. The red pill. They want to stay in the matrix. And they asked me, what is the reason you learning all this? What's the purpose of you? Well, what is it benefiting you? I'm going to die knowing the truth, at least trying to get to the truth one another. So, um, just to introduce it to you is geometric um, science, teachings, techniques, basically talking about the uh, patterns that God diagrammed for this world, the flower, and just many things that probably you haven't gotten into or felt like you didn't need to get into it. But like I was telling like I'll be telling we have to get the whole picture, not part of the picture, but the whole picture. That's illuminating yourself. That's getting higher consciousness. That is becoming God-like, I believe, to know it all. It's not just to stay in one spot, to be separate from this one or that one, but to know it all, the sum of it all, just like He made people. So, if you want to, Demi, you can play that first video for me, man. Just touch bases with it. This is going to be the geometric science techniques that they say is the reason of the creation. And check it out. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all watch the tape that I told y'all to watch on some Cova 180, but I didn't. I don't know if y'all did watch it, but check it out. It's pretty good.
All right, y'all see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right, sweet.
Competition she took part in. She was known as the contest queen.
Science will always push the limits of our understanding. Humanity is on a quest to expand our knowledge, to dig deeper, to look further, and to uncover the truth of reality. For generations, religious teachings once held to the belief that Earth was only a few thousand years old. With the rise and study of evolution and geology, a consensus emerged that our planet was actually millions of years older. By the 1920s, radiometric dating would lead to the current understanding that Earth is 4.55 billion years old. But where did the Earth come from? In the same decade, a Belgian priest named Georges Lemaitre introduced the Big Bang Theory, in which he theorized that the universe began from a single primordial atom. The idea received a major boost from Edwin Hubble's observations that galaxies across the cosmos are speeding away from us in all directions, as well from the 1960s discovery of cosmic microwave radiation. But where did the Big Bang come from? What happened before the Big Bang, which occurred 13.8 billion years ago? Someday we might know the answer, and once we have the answer, the next logical question will be, what came before that? Sacred geometry reverse engineers our method of scientific exploration. It does so by starting with the logical beginning of everything, which is nothing. Before there was something, there was nothing. The universe was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. The first thing to come into existence was a point. Before anything could be, it has to start with a point.
Okay.
A point occupies no space, it has no dimensions. It's so small it can't be measured, yet it encompasses everything within it. You could say this point is
Everybody
spirit.
mute your mic, please.
And what is the first thing that spirit does? It becomes conscious. It becomes aware. 360 degrees of awareness in the vast emptiness of the void. The ancient Egyptians believed that this innate aspect of consciousness is what sparked the process of creation. Then what did spirit do? The only thing it could do, it moved. The first 3 lines of Genesis in the King James Bible. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Now, interpretations of the Bible have varied a lot over time, but the important thing to note here is that movement happened before there was light. From the vantage of pure physics or mathematics, motion is impossible in a void. You can't go anywhere, or fall, or rotate. There's just infinite emptiness in all directions. So in order to
Can you pause
move,
it for a second
you
for me?
need something in relation to move to. Before there was
Is everybody following so far? Anybody got any questions or don't understand anything?
No, I mean he's given a pretty clear explanation of it so far.
Okay, I was just asking. I was just asking if anybody was just lost. All right, we can go.
light, there was movement. Once spirit created a point in space, it was able to move to the edge of its awareness and expand consciousness, creating another circle to form the Vesica Pisces. This
Okay, so pause it right
football-shaped
there.
opening in the middle is the
All right,
geometric
so the
image.
Vesica. All right, so the first one is the Vesica Pisces, and basically it's like he moved. Like in the beginning of it, God was just there, and like then he found out he had a conscience and he moved. Well, when he moved, you're gonna find out that these images and these patterns that it makes are going to blow your mind, and it's not a coincidence that it happens this way. But go ahead.
So you're describing it as God moving and not a point.
Right. Basically, what it was that's why I asked if anybody had any questions. Okay, so basically, what it's saying is that God was God. He was there. He was there. But when he said, "Let there be light," it had to come a point in existence. You can't measure a point. It's impossible to measure. It's so small. But you have to start with a point at anything. It has to be a starting point, and the center of his consciousness is where that point started. And then he moved because he had consciousness of something that he had put his finger on, not yet knowing what it was, but when he moved to it, then it's going to explain what happened after that.
No. That's fine. I understand that. I just want to verify what you're saying because there's other, and I understand that this is a theory, but there is other people that use
You
the
said it,
same geometry to do the same thing without a God.
okay, so I don't know what you're going with that, but that is the geometry. That is the sacredness. That is not a theory. This is a pattern that's in everything around you. If you when they finish this tape, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is
No.
God's
I understand that.
diagram.
What I meant by theory is they're using this as a theory to bring God into the picture. I understand
No,
geometry is real. Geometry is used through life. Even Kemet used geometry. Kemet
yeah,
used these same exact things. So what I'm
yeah, it's
saying
not.
is, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is what you're using is to bring God, Jesus, your higher power, God, into existence, correct?
Um, I'm the creation. Yeah, yeah. I guess you could say that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, that's what it is. This is a um an idea, just like everything else, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Everything's a theory. Everything is a blank uh, space. So yeah, okay, yeah. I'm using this as God, being God, and how He created the heavens and the earth, and how it all became. Yeah.
All right, we ready?
Yeah. I'm waiting on you, boss.
Through which light was created, and it is also the geometric shape through which our eyes receive light. Spirit would continue to expand its awareness, following the
Can you
Genesis
pause it,
pattern,
please?
by moving to each.
Now, when it just said that right there, He said that it made the eye that we see light through. You think that's a coincidence? You think that's just a coincidence that it made the same shape as our eyeball?
That's
Anybody?
interesting.
It made an eye. The first consciousness to open up light, to bring light into the world, it made an eye. What do you think? What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, that's geometry. I mean, it's gonna make all kind of shapes. I mean, you can,
It's not
you know
gonna
what I
make.
mean?
It's not though. It's only gonna make certain shapes. It's only gonna make certain shapes. So I'm gonna just let the tape play, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, because you'll see exactly what it's not.
But you will see geometry can be all right, yeah, yeah. We'll finish it, and I'll show you what
Yeah,
I'm talking
because
about.
geometry. Yeah, right. Okay, because this is just a diagram, the flower diagram. This is the diagram of life. I'm not talking about some building, or I'm talking about this and that. This is where it all comes from. Everything that you got around you, every building, every shape, every picture, everything that you possibly can make a shape out of came from this right here. Excuse me.
Okay, okay. I get you. All right,
This is his print, his blueprint, right here on Earth. And go ahead and play it. Now I'm just gonna let it play.
okay.
Each intersection of the circumferences and expanding. The second movement creates the third circle, which forms the Holy Trinity. With each movement, more information unfolds. By the fourth motion, we have moved halfway around the first circle, 180 degrees from the first motion. On the fourth day of Genesis, exactly half of creation was completed. After 6 movements, 6 days, a geometric miracle takes place. We have a
So six
complete
days.
pattern, the seed
He
of
rested on
life.
the seventh.
This
He
complete
rested on
pattern
the
is
seventh. Pause
called
it for
the
a
seed
second.
of life,
Six
for it
days. The seed
contains
of
the
life. This is
recipe
what
of
this
life
is right
and
there.
all
Seed of
its
life.
potential. The second rotation of circles forms a three-dimensional shape. The ancients who were concerned with life and death called this cluster of spheres the egg of life.
The egg of life.
Your entire existence is dependent on the egg of life structure. Everything about you, from your height to your eye color, was created through the egg of life form. Spirit would continue this pattern with a third rotation. 19 circles produces the flower of life, a shape that is found in ancient cultures around the world. From China to Ireland to Egypt to India, they all had some notion of the flower of life. Why is this shape so special? Because the information hidden in the flower of life is so important and so sacred that our ancient ancestors had to keep it secret, which was appropriate at that time. However, now, we either use the information or fall further into darkness. When the flower of life is extended out and all the circles are completed, the fruit of life is revealed. This is the secret. Out of the flower comes the fruit. The fruit of life is an entirely feminine shape. Curved lines are feminine. They represent formlessness and emotion. Once we add masculine energy or lines, the formless begins to take shape.
I said, so did y'all get that right there? Did
Yeah,
y'all
I'm
get that
writing
part
it.
right there? Did y'all get that part
Yeah,
right there though? Did you really pay attention to that part right there?
I'm writing it down.
Because I mean, so now this is where they can associate. This is where this is where the misogyny in the in this book this is where they get the misogyny in this book. You see this? Because now the female graph has no form, no shape. You hear that? You see that? It's just the male graph that has the form and the shape. You see that? You see how that works?
Yes, I noticed that.
You see? Did you see how that? You see how that? You see how that? How that flip right there? Did you
Yeah.
see how that? You see that explanation right there? Hey, see, so
Hmm.
this is where I have a problem with that at. This is where I have a problem with it at, because now you
Okay.
see, so because now your story, you tell, all you're doing is telling a biblical story here.
He's
That's
not. It's not a biblical story at all. It's not a
it pretty
biblical
much
story. It's the pattern
it-
of the. It is a pattern of life. Is what this is. This is
right.
no story of
And
anything but of God's pattern that is everywhere around you, everywhere
see,
on frogs,
see,
on flowers,
right,
on and you name it. It's there. And these
right,
shapes come out of that pattern. The
right.
woman
But let
shape
me.
has. Go ahead.
All right. So check this out. So this whole, I mean, so they started in Genesis, King. So listen to this here, man.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
whole presentation
Okay.
started in Genesis.
Right,
So
it
what they're
didn't. It
doing
just
is
put those three, but it just put those, you get a misinterpretation of it. He put those three in there just for the people of the Bible to say, okay, in Genesis it said this, in Genesis it said that, in Genesis it said that. And in his rotation of this diagram, it took 6 days to make that rotation. On
and
the
then you
seventh
said
day, it
God
was
and
done.
said God. He said God rested on the seventh. So this is
No,
what
it
I'm
did
saying.
not say it didn't say that at
No,
all. He
you
said
did.
on.
No, you did,
Right,
King.
I
I'm saying
did
you
to put
did.
it in
Right,
that form, but to
right.
put it in that form, biblical form. I don't even keep this. This right here has nothing to do with the biblical Bible at all. He just adds that in there to let people know, like, okay, y'all talk about light, this and that. So I'm gonna relate to the Bible and show you exactly how God's print on earth or His print in the world even goes into with the Bible, and how with the
Yeah,
Bible it took him
right.
six
So
days and
you
out.
just said it again. You just said it again. So listen, listen. So
Oh
listen. You just said it
man.
again. Watch this. Watch this.
No,
Watch
you
this. You just said it
misinterpreting
again.
me again.
No, no,
No,
no.
I'm
Listen, listen, listen. Watch this. Watch this. So if so you can look through it. The whole presentation is introduced. So what they're doing, man, is they're associating geometry with God, King. This is
no, they're
what they're doing.
not. No, they're not.
And the
No, they're
creator.
not.
Why? Okay, so let's finish watching it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Let's do
But
that. All right.
watch this. But watch this here.
Okay,
But my
wait.
point
It
right
is
here.
God. It is God. This is
Right,
God. This is
right.
God.
This is what
You're
I'm saying
absolutely
to you.
right.
Right. I know I am. This is what I'm
Without
saying
the
to you.
stories, without the Jesus, without the Josephs and
I
Pauls and all
understand this,
that,
but
this is the creation.
it's still giving you a starting point for God.
No, it's giving you a starting point for people who do not think that this would add up to even be God. Like when she came in and she said, I don't know who it was. I apologize. I don't know who spoke up, but she said, "So you're trying to say this is God? You're trying to say this is God? Like you know what I'm saying? Like in a sense, you're making this like this is God's creation. But it's not that. It's a total different whole area. It has nothing to do with no men. It has nothing to do with no people, no splitting of the water. It has to do specifically with God's pattern and God's life force and God's print on the world and how we're all intertwined into his own diagram where we're all one, where we all are one thought, one thing, and that's it. You
I'm
know,
saying, but
that's
you
it.
make it where you confuse me is you're saying it has nothing to do with God, and then you tell me it is God. So I mean, this is what
Okay,
this
it
is
has
where
nothing to do with the Bible. Don't twist my words, Jay. It has nothing to do with the Bible. They related
okay.
it
So
to
the
the
Bible,
Bible for non-believers who don't think that this would be that. It adds up to that. That's why when he said in the beginning, he said in Genesis said this: God created the heaven. I mean, let there be light. So then there was a point, and it went to that point. So it
right,
just made that a symbolism of okay, there's the point. And then God, so he even said this. Unlike the Bible, there was movement before there was even movement. There was something going on way before it was even something going on. Like the soul just moving around, and then when it finally got consciousness, it moved towards it, and then it got the light. Here come the light in the I form, or what was it called? Pisces. I
Right,
can't remember the
right,
name. Right, and
right.
that was the first form of it, the light part, and then he moved to the next form. But this is yes, this is God's mind moving and becoming conscious. If anybody say, well, like where God come from, here it is. Here it is. This is where God came from. This is the whole story behind God. This ain't got nothing to do with
Right,
okay,
right,
not the
right.
Bible. It's
Okay,
not the
keep going.
Bible. It has
Okay,
nothing to do with
okay,
Jesus.
okay. All
This is
right. I
God's
get it.
diagram,
I
God's
get it.
creation. All
This
right,
is God. Okay.
this is God.
Now, okay. So,
Talk
all
to
right.
me.
But my thing is, you just see how
Huh?
they just crushed the woman graph, man. I just thought that was interesting.
And I thought that was very interesting how it basically said that a woman is without form, without you know what I'm saying? She's smooth, bro. She caressing, you know what I mean? The man is the one who gets the straight lines and the structure, you know what I'm saying? Being hard. And so I thought that was really pretty, man, that the fruit of life was the woman. And is that not true too? She's the creator of life.
Yeah, but that don't sound like what they described there.
I think that you may be listening for something else, but that's exactly it's like you said with the Horace and Newton, all them, how it's a symbolism. That was more or less like a symbolism saying that this is woman, this is. I mean, when it got to that point of the the ending of it, it became the fruit. You know what I mean? And is
No,
that not what she
they
is?
no, they have a graph. They have a graph. Listen, they have a graph for a man. They have a graph for a woman. They did that specifically, and then and then when they continue on, they're gonna show you a Star of David, King.
No, 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 no. Okay, first of all, you're looking at a Star of David because of a diagram. Let's just say there's no Star of David. There was never an existence of Star of David. There's no Star of David. So whenever he came to the part where it had the woman's diagram, if you want to back it up, it'll tell you this is just the forming of it. It's just forming, Jay.
Jamie,
You know what I mean? It's just basically forming.
Jamie,
And when it got, yeah.
can, can you please go back so we can all see it?
Yes, because this is just a form. I want to
Not
explain
all
that
the
to y'all.
way, but just so we
That's
can
what I
see
say.
it.
I just want to explain it to you. The formation of him moving, he's letting y'all know. Like the first one was the eye, and then he moved around, and it got to another point, and then another point, and then it made the flower, and then it made the fruit. So he's getting to the point of life, like even the egg part of it, and that showed how when we're in our moms and we're being born, it's an egg shape. That's how they got that from that. Like, man, this is creation. This is the creation shape, the egg. And how does what comes out of an egg? A baby. So it's like not it's not like it's a coincidence. This is what it's telling you, and it's like this. So you can go ahead and push play, bro.
Completed, the fruit of life is revealed. This is
Yeah,
the
back it up
secret.
just a little bit more.
Out of the flower comes the fruit. The fruit of life is an entirely feminine shape.
Back it up just a little bit more, James. Thank you.
The fruit of life is revealed. This is information or fall further into darkness. When the flower of life is extended out and all the circles are completed, the fruit of life is revealed. This is the secret. Out of the flower comes the fruit.
The fruit.
The fruit of life is an entirely feminine shape. Curved lines are feminine. They represent formlessness and emotion. Once we add masculine energy or lines, the formless begins to take shape. This is Metatron's cube, and it contains the fabric of reality because out of this shape, we get the Platonic solids.
Oh.
Platonic solids have faces that are all the same size, edges that are all the same length, angles that are all the same degree. And if put into a sphere, all points will touch the edge of the sphere. These shapes were studied in ancient times by the Egyptians, who passed the knowledge to the Greeks, where Pythagoras would study them, and later Plato, which is where we get the name Platonic. There are 5 Platonic solids: the cube, the tetrahedron, the octahedron, the isosahedron, and the pentagonal dodecahedron.
Can you pause it,
Earth,
please?
air, fire, water, and ether, or prana.
All right. So even like just like right on here right now, out of that flower, out of the beginning of his consciousness, and then out of the flower and out of the whole creation, we get these objects right here: the cube, the triangle, the dodecahedron, the icosahedron, the tetrahedron, all of that, all of these, and then it symbolizes air, earth, fire, ether, and water. Ether, that's a whole new one to me. I didn't know ether was in. I thought it was just 5 elements, but that is five. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know ether was one of them. But so that's what I'm trying to say. Even out of that, we get our shape. We get every shape that is in our universe right now. And then they're gonna show you at a point where you could twist, tweak that, and get more shapes out of it with just a. Man, it's deep, man. It's deep. It's deep.
You're doing
It's
good,
deep.
King.
Yeah,
You're doing
you
good.
is, man, because I like that, man. I
just
like that. I like that.
You're
This
doing
I
real
like
good.
this. Yeah, because this is slick right here. This is real slick, and
all right.
hey, it's something else to this too, man. If y'all, after this, man, I'm a but go ahead. But this is slick right here. I like this.
All
You're
right.
doing a
So out
good
of
job,
all,
bro.
I appreciate it, brother. So out of all of that God created with His thought, and it came to this right here, our patterns, and you can push play, big dog.
Each platonic solid corresponds to a different element, and every element of the periodic table has a
Boom.
geometric relation to one of the platonic solids.
Thank you so much. And here we go with our periodic table that we all learned in school. Where did it come from? The flower, from the creation, from the egg, from it all. We got our chemicals, our iron, our all of that stems from where? The flower again. Go ahead and push play.
From the motion of atoms, to molecules, to viruses, to snowflakes, to the shape of sound, to the orbits of the planets in our solar system, everything stems from this basic geometric information system. And it all starts with spirit. Looking at ancient myths and religious teachings in a metaphorical sense, and less in a literal materialistic sense, will allow us to decipher the encoded wisdom and may perhaps serve to bridge the divide between spirit and science. As above, so below. There's as much greater than us than there is lesser than us. There's as much outside us as there is within. Everything above us and everything below us is constructed from geometric relationships. When we study sacred geometry, we begin to understand our place in the universe. All this expansion of consciousness, all this curious exploration is really about finding out who we are. We are a mystery to ourselves, and to uncover where we came from is to know ourselves on the deepest level. Everything, from the smallest particle to the biggest star, is connected, and you are at the absolute center of it all. Philosophy is written in this grand book, the universe, which stands continually open to our gaze. But the book cannot be understood unless one first learns to comprehend the language and read the letters in which it's composed. It is written in the language of mathematics, and its characters are triangles, circles, and other geometric figures, without which it is humanly impossible to understand a single word of it. Without these, one wanders about in a dark labyrinth. Galileo Galilei. Today's video is sponsored by MSI.
It ain't over yet. It ain't
The
over
golden
yet.
ratio describes predictable patterns on everything from atoms to huge
Check
stars
this
in
out.
the sky. The ratio is derived from something called the Fibonacci sequence, named after its Italian founder, Leonardo Fibonacci. In the sequence, each number is simply the sum of the two preceding numbers: 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, etc. This simple sequence produces an amazing proportion of 1.618, which is known by many other names: the golden ratio, the golden mean, phi, and the divine proportion, among others. So why is this number so important? Well, almost everything has dimensional properties that adhere to the ratio of 1.618, so it seems to have a fundamental function for the building blocks of nature. For billions of years, life on Earth has evolved around this proportion to maintain balance and harmony. Our ancient ancestors incorporated the golden ratio into their structures and daily lives. And today, our best technology continues this evolution, for it follows the laws of nature to design user experience, enhance aesthetics, and efficiency. This is the inspiration behind the MSI Creator Z16 laptop.
That's
MSI
it, bro.
values
Just give us some
human-oriented
properties
product
that
design, merging golden ratio
it.
aesthetics design with modern-day technology, assisting users to solve problems in life, breaking through boundaries and exploring more potential. MSI has successfully merged opposition
Amy, he
of
said
That's it,
that's
bro.
fair enough.
ratio
That's it,
and
bro.
subjective human emotion.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, that was
Hey,
just, I don't know, it was
you
sponsored up on
cheating
it.
on that part, man. That Z16 is a bad mother.
Yeah, no doubt. I figure if you want to go and, get that, that's cool, research that, but that's just like stepping in on, I just thought they was advertising for whoever was coming up with that Z16.
That's
That's all.
a badass computer right there.
It
Excuse my
definitely is.
language.
It definitely is. And the way they made it is extreme. So yeah,
Everything.
it's supposed to give you the best quality look and everything. But I just thought it was irrelevant. So, what did you think about the video?
I like
So-
the video, man. I like the video myself. You know, that's the one you sent me before, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
I watch that, and my wife is in the room watching too, man. And she really likes it too. She really like she's all numbers person anyway, so that made sense to her. And so I get the view that Jamie is talking about and Becky, and I get the view that you talked about, we talked about, right? And so all in all, I hate math, and I don't like math because it's just difficult. It's so complex, right? It's more complex than I am, and I like my complexity, right? So it's a little different for me, right? I wrote down this. I didn't remember the first one, so I wrote down the spirit life. What is the first one called?
The Pisces. Pisces.
Oh yeah, the Pisces. Okay, bet. And then the egg life, and then the flower life, and the fruit life.
There you go.
Then
Yes, sir.
I just like the expansion and how this shit puts together, man. And I don't know enough about that because like I said, math wasn't my thing, man. So in my mind, it just reverberates back to that. But I get to study that some. And then the thing that I know about is that the math. And he said I like that he went into it and said where the stereo came from, right? And then it ventured down to the Greeks and the rest of the people, right? And so,
like she said, the commands and all that.
Right. So I think it's clean, man. I think it's clean.
But
and I like that. I like that. I like that. Jamie and Becky chimed in on the introduction and that you explained it. With your idea of and it's disrespectful. You know what I mean? That
and it is an idea
in the Bible where it comes from, and it's just to have relative. I get that point. Nevertheless, they still put it in there. To me, it's like people putting up Isis, Horus, and the other motherfucker, right? Instead of using the Greek names, right? I don't need these indoctrinated points for my mind to conceive, right? That's still an implant for feeding the indoctrination to me, right? It's still an implant. And one will say you should be man enough. No, motherfucker, you should not. Excuse my language. No, you should stop, or I'm gonna correct it, right?
You should
stop implementing, or I'm gonna correct it, because I'm not gonna correct it. And so on that tip of what Jamie and Becky was talking about, I totally agree, right? And then when you explained it, I think it was necessary for you to explain.
Definitely. Because I didn't
Hey,
want them to. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Hey,
No,
so
I'm fine.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like the video, man. You know, I had seen the video a couple of times. Uh I watched it before, and then I watched it last night, and then I watched it again today. But I'm just saying, man, like I like that video. I like the whole video. Whole video is slick, especially the beginning. You know what I mean? You know, I like that. You know, the started out at.
What are you? How are you defining slick?
I'm just
Hey,
saying, man. It's just.
we live, baby. We live, baby.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I really like that. I like the way you know the dot started, man, and then once it moved, once you know it started, you know, then you know it gained consciousness and began to move and you know and life forms. I like that, man. That's real slick. That's scientific to me. That's scientific,
That's
man.
scientific.
And I think that anytime you know just like they got courses where you learn how to debate and argue, you know, numerically, you know what I'm saying? Mathematically, right? And so if you can get something mathematically correct, you really can't deny it, right? You know, and then you get stuff that's mathematically incorrect, like, you know, like the Trinity. That's just mathematically incorrect. You just can't get that. We know that that's wrong, right? You know what I mean? You know,
Right.
shit like that. So I'm just saying, man, like I like that video, man. This is real slick though. I do. It wasn't bad, man. I just had to give you a hard time, King. That's all.
Oh man, it ain't no thing, man. You know, I'm Prince still, man. You know, my daddy, he's still alive, so I'm gonna be a prince till he die. But you know how I go with that. But not a king yet.
Hold up
But
just a second. When you get done, Prince, I think my wife wants to say something on that. I'm trying to get her
go ahead. Tell her go ahead.
I'm trying to get
Go
her
ahead.
to fit some game.
Yeah, tell her go ahead.
We get into it, man, because she taught her grandson from. Hold on, let me get away from her. She taught her grandson, you know, and she teaches her in a manner that this is talking about in a sense, and I'm in disagreement with it. So I really had to back up and let them teach because they was really learning, right? He was really learning. He's a genius, right? You know what I mean? So
Can I say something, man, before she even say something, man? I suck at math. I just learned my timetables 2 years ago. To be honest with you, man, I just did not catch math. I didn't understand the why they got X, Y's and mathematics, and that's alphabets. But my whole thing is when I saw this, I didn't see math. I didn't see math. I just saw circles and points, and that's it. And I never saw it to add up anything. I just went with what it added up to. That's what I did. I didn't look at it as any type of um, math problem or anything like that. I figured with God, and the way I do it, meditate first. I'm telling anybody do that, but meditate. And with God bringing it to my attention, it was more or less like it's a painting. That's all I saw. I saw a painting. I saw a painting that I could not even do after I saw it. I had to really go back and watch, and it was at the point of where he was, where you make the circle. So then I made the flower, and I made it over, and then I went more and more. Than I made. I mean, it was just amazing how these points and it created it, and it's a non-stop labyrinth of existence, man. And that's the craziest part about it. There's no end to this. There's no end. The little curve he was showing you, like they have on snails and whatnot, that's what you call a never-ending swirl. You can go forward or backwards, and it's not going to change the way of it. It's going to keep going and going, and that's just how I look at it. Like it didn't have any religious background to it. It just threw that in there to let me know, like, hey, you talking about the Bible? Here you go, put this in there. So I look at it like that. But I just wanted people to get outside of themselves and just to know that it's more to it than just religion. And that's all I'm saying. I presented this just so people would know that keep going, keep searching. All right, we don't went into the Bible. Go past that. Go check out the Buddhism. Go check out Muslim. Go check out all of it. Learn it all. Figure it all out. Know every part of it, so that you grow more consciously. And when you get to the point of being God, like I believe that's when you have reached your pinnacle of wisdom, and probably just disappear like Buddha or something. I don't know. Well, it's time to go
Yeah.
after that.
Hey, so
Nothing else
I
to
got
learn.
some. I got something that compliment what you showed too, man. But yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the next
Hey,
one,
Prince.
the next.
I, I just
Yes,
wanted to
ma'am.
say thank you. I really enjoyed the video. I
Oh, you're
did look
welcome.
at
You're
it,
welcome.
the mathematics, because I like numbers, but my favorite part was the curves of the woman and the start of
Yes.
life, and
Yes.
then how the man brings,
Yes.
the structure and the lines. I thought that was
The
absolutely beautiful.
masculinity. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. But it was on point too. It's like the man's all tough, the woman's soft. Man just want to
right.
destroy, women want to create. So yeah, that was a good point. I
Yeah.
like
So
that.
thank you so much for sharing that. I
You're
really
welcome
liked it.
so much, Jay. You're welcome
But
so
I
much. And
like
I would tell you
to
to keep
learn
going.
all these things. I like
Yeah, and if you
to
want to look it up, Miss Carrie, just go on YouTube and just pull it up. It's got many sections. It just goes deep, it gets deeper and deeper, but it just explains more of it. Even it's one video that I'll post, and you could look on Sonakova. Was it Sonakova? How you say it? Sonoka 180.
oh,
I'll post it on the site, and then
okay.
this one is
Sankofa.
talking about how, yeah, Sankofa. This one is talking about how when the Bible came into play, how that changed it all, and then it goes into the dimensions of levels that we're at, and how at the highest point we will be angelic like, because we are beings, we are evolving into this consciousness. That's like I said, that's what I'm trying to express. I'm really trying to get my point across today is that it's not about the money. It's not about the clothes. It's not about the cars. It's not about the this, and just being conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need the
All
money.
right.
We don't need so many things in this world. We really don't. And if we take our thought pattern, okay, what I'm trying to say is how aliens are so advanced because they don't worry about food, they don't worry about this, they don't worry about that. Hypothetically speaking, is what I'm saying. So hypothetically speaking, they're on a whole different page. They look at us and say,
Breaking
man,
up a little bit, Prince. You're breaking up a little
I
bit.
say they look at us. All right, so they look at us and they say, if an alien was watching us on the tube, they would look at us and say, man, they fight a lot, they war a lot, they fight over the land, they fight over this, they fight over that, and they would not think we were so intelligent because of that simple fact that we can't come up with another way. I feel like if we did have an alien attack, the aliens would be like, dude, we'll smoke y'all in an instant. Like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all are nowhere near going to be able to handle us because where y'all mind is, y'all want to destroy something. We don't want to destroy it. We want to take it to a higher level, use it, pass it, let everybody use it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the white man's mentality. And I don't mean to say that to be disrespectful to nobody watching anything like that, but it is. It's the mentality of this human being who does not who has a hole in his heart. I don't know if y'all ever seen if you've ever seen Apocalypto. And in that Apocalypto, it's a scene in there where the grandfather's telling the story of how the owl and the deer see this white man, and white man's got it. He's worried. He's just sitting there, and his head's down, and the owl come up to him and say, "What's the matter?" And he said, "Man, I want to know it all." So they take him in the woods and they give him all of everything. They teach him the secrets of the universe. They teach him everything, and then he leaves. When he gets it all, he leaves. And the owl looking at the deer, and the deer said, "Man, owl, why you looking like that?" He said, "Because I saw something in that man. He had a hole in his heart. He'll never be satisfied. He'll never be quenched. He gonna take and he gonna take and he gonna take from the earth until the earth says that I have no more to give." And that's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man.
Jonathan just joined too, man. And, I've talked to you a number of times, Prince, and so understand when I say a similar view, really helpful view, right? Jonathan has a similar view and outlook and progression. I think we all have, the progression and stuff like that, but just a very similar one. It's just really similar, similar to me, and I don't know whatever measure you want to put on aspects, right? And so I just wanted to throw that out there too. There's nothing wrong with it. It's
And I want to say, one more thing before Mr. Clayton says anything. Black people, and I know this is still an on topic thing, but Black people in America, we are the way we are because of the simple fact that it's like a marriage to the white man, to the white people, and we got beat. And in a marriage, when a man beats a woman or a woman beats a man, and they try to make things right, they looking over their shoulder, they still worried, they still wonder. And I think that if people would understand that's the relationship that it is with our counterpartner, um, then they would get it. They would finally get it. It's not that we don't want to give it up and stop talking about it. It's the fact that we know what you did. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
no,
that's,
we know you. I think it's and I hear what you're saying. I think it's there's no comparison. It's not a marriage. It's like a fucking a kidnapping. You know what I mean? It's like a torture.
Stockholm syndrome and shit.
You don't
Yeah.
have no choice in it. When you get a choice to
Yeah.
get married, well, you made a choice to get married, right? So I don't want to put it in that context.
Well,
Good
in the
distinction.
context of,
That was a good beginning concept. Okay, I get that.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is there is no comparison. And then all this other information that we got out here and all these other religions and backgrounds and spiritual systems we got to work with. What I found is, okay, I got that. I'm good with that, right? But what I found was I was staying away from doing everything, and what it looked like is I'm staying away from the original of my culture, right? And so for me myself, I'm putting my time into my culture. I put time into all these other things. Even though I don't like math, I put time in math, right? And on and on and on. And then I had a disposition with the Black history because I get upset and then I go wreck stuff, right? And then I put my family in the lesser position and all this kind of stuff. So now I'm all into the culture, the system, all the information that has been purposely hidden from us, right? And let alone from being hidden from us, I allowed it to be hidden from me to a point, and now I'm not willing to do that. So all this information is good, it's intriguing, it's inspirational, but it doesn't soothe my soul. What it soothes my soul is me and my culture. Now that doesn't mean anything. You got to know, it doesn't mean anything that you just presented. It doesn't demean any other views to me. It's a personal thing to me. And what I want a legacy to attain is my culture,
Yeah. I can dig it. We the only race in America that's screwed up like that, though. Only ones who don't know where we actually from and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
we're willing to look into anything else, and as much as they keep on digging and finding, they keep finding Black, right? But not us. Not. But it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me, King, right? And I don't put anybody else in a bad view or anything like that. Get what you get, But me, off top and every time. That's where I'm going to get. I'm obviously not closed-minded because I participate, right? I'm looking for. I utilize. I go back to where I came from in my studies, in my person, and where I think in the universe, and then the spiritual system, right? And then how can I be useful in the community that I live in,
And that's why I say, oh man, it's just it's got to be more to it. That's the only thing that where I'm at this point in my life it's more, it's gotta be more to it. Love gotta conquer over hate, man. And it's gotta be a better way, man. And if we don't come as a group, as a unit, and that's everybody, and bring a stop to this crazy stuff that's going on in our country, then it's just gonna be the powers that be that controlling everything, bro. And we all just sitting around. You know, it's like it's too late. We didn't do shit. We just watched them get away with it and do it, and no one said nothing. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's cool. It's cool." I mean, we still getting gas. It's $7, but I mean, we getting gas. So nobody protest. Nobody said let's not go to work. It just people just don't give a fuck enough, man. Excuse my language. They just do not care enough, man, to want to stop the madness. If they did, it'd be million man marches everywhere, man, with all colors, not just one color. And you gotta look at my aspect of I'm a mixed breed. I'm Mexican, Indian, Black, Barbados, St. Croix, you know what I'm saying? Irish. I mean, how can I be racist towards anybody? So I have to look at the higher picture of higher consciousness to just get to a place of peace, man. You know, war is money. That's it. Peace don't get no bread out of that. You don't get no money out of peace.
You know what, man? I really like that. Like I don't know that you guys really. I believe that you do, right? I really liked where you guys are at, man. You know, I get to look. I'm a little bit older than I'm much older than both of you guys, but nevertheless, experience-wise, you know, I experienced a lot of different things, man, and a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different thought theories and stuff like that, and applied a lot. Not that I was lost, man. You know, I was pretty stable in all my stuff, right? But now I'm in this right here, my culture, our culture that goes back so far. Of course, there's something that goes back further, right? I'm talking about documented culture that has been smashed, right? And so that's my interest, right? And I think
Gonna
that,
die,
and I think
Negro. They gonna kill you.
I believe that without that, how can I say I'm me?
Well, just tell me when you're ready now. Step
What
up,
I
be ready
am.
with you
So
in revolution. You feel me? But we gonna die. They gonna kill us.
I like what you put out there in the beginning. You said, this is what we are. I'm so glad that you did not say, this is who we are, right?
This is what we
So
are.
that was a great distinction right there, man. But me personally, man, I rounded myself out. Now I want to solidify myself, right?
Exactly. That's
And
where I'm at. Yes, sir.
that's what I'm talking about, right? And that ain't got to be for everybody else. And how I solidify myself because I'm confident in the amount that I glean, and utilize for, you know, proactivity, right? Not just for me, for proactivity. But now I'm really selfish. You call it what you want. I'm letting you know you can start there. I'm selfish about the necessity of the core of the depth, including the depth that I can get it from. And I don't see nothing better than my culture.
I can dig it.
Okay.
I see beauty. I be seeing beauty in all. Like I say, man, beauty
Yeah.
in all of it, man. I just think that everybody just need to just stay. Let's just all go to heaven, man. I'll go to a peaceful place, man. I ain't even gonna say heaven, man. Let's just
I ain't
go
going there.
place,
I ain't
man.
going to heaven, King. You know that heaven portrays in me? Is that I'm gonna be
Right.
up there praising some motherfucker, man. Fuck that.
You feel
Fuck
me?
that. I got people to see. If it's a heaven, I got places to travel. I got people to see. You know, I want to see mama. I want to see that. I want to see, you know, and I got places to explore, man. I mean, I gotta have some freedom in that. But the Bible tells me that that heaven, I don't even fuck with heaven, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I got a different perspective, man, and it's okay for everybody else. I'm just saying,
That's right. That's right.
I'm not gonna allow anybody to draw me into that. I've been there. I get it. And if God says I'm a blasphemous and I can't get in, cool, right? I get that. That's my lot, right?
I'm gonna be at the
What
gate
I'm
like,
saying
damn,
though
come
is,
on, man, let him
what
in,
I'm
man.
saying though, listen. I don't even go on the God term because it's not cultural anyway, right? That's implemented. That's intrusive. It's when you hold it so tightly, it's degradate, right? To our ancestors, to our natures, to what was pure before the invasive behaviors and the indoctrinated means that take place through all our lives. The Queen read a great section. You know, she's gonna give a great presentation. And so
PTSD, baby.
that's 2 weeks in February. And so that's where I'm at, King. You know, I'm tired. Me personally, I'm tired of draining myself. You can call it a hole, whatever you want to call it. That's not being filled, and that's my fault, right? And it ain't my fault no more because I participate.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Like I say, whenever you're ready to go ahead and be a martyr, I'll be right there with you, dog. Right there with you.
Right.
Peace, Jonathan. What's going on, King?
What's up, comrade? How y'all
Oh
doing?
man, nice to see you, man.
All
Nice to
right,
see you.
brother Jonathan. You too. Pleased to meet you, bro. Comrade. What's the subject matter? What's the topic?
We're gonna get into another video, and then it'll key you up on the first one.
Hey, but he's so it's Gia. Tell him, King. Tell him.
Geometric sacred techniques and teachings, and that's basically what it's just talking about. The flower of life. What? The first video. Geometric sacred teachings and techniques. Okay.
So explain the life forms, man. The cycles.
It's just basically talking about it's basically just talking about the how the creation of life was in the sense of God created life, and that's basically what it is. It's God's story, not Jesus's, not nobody, but it's God and how he came to existence. People say, well, where did God come from? Who made God? Well, God made him. God made God. God was there, and then he found his consciousness, and it just teaches about the egg and the flower and just important diagrams and patterns that are in the world around us every day. And it's letting us know that this is the diagram. There's no getting around it. There's no making a honeycomb with a circle. It ain't gonna work. So, however, and then you get your shapes out of it as well. Your octagon, your hexes, and all of that. So.
Yeah, so Jonathan, I'll send you that video, man. I'll send you that specific video. What's up, Jay Jr.?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, son?
Shit, just chilling, listening to what's going on.
Man, I don't know if you be chilling, man. You be busy, bro. Come on now.
I be listening though.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. My man. Hey, big ups to you, King.
You already know it.
Yeah.
So y'all can proceed. Step into the second video, and it's just basically talking about a different form of it. It's pretty neat, but it's just another geometry. But it's cool. It's a little cartoon. He's real cool. He explains it very well, so you enjoy it. I know everybody enjoy it. I hope you do anyway. So.
Hey, man, I want you to know, man, I really like these videos. It's good. It's good for me.
I appreciate it. It. Hi, Mr. Jamie.
Showing up on the first page of Google might not be the best for everyone.
More than 90% of people believe there is an afterlife.
I faded out, from reality, and
the next thing after that, I remember was seeing myself on the emergency table, and they were working on me, trying to revive me.
Being brought up this tunnel of light.
I was feeling all this love and this acceptance.
An hour later, the doctor came out and she said she was fine. And out of nowhere, she just asked when she can see God again.
Most people are raised to believe that we are born, we age, and then we die. It's the natural cycle of life to death. Easy to see and understand. But what do you believe happens after we die? This is where opinion splits. Some have spiritual practices or
Yes, that was the last video.
That was it?
No, here's another one. He just played the wrong one.
Oh, this ain't it. Hold on. This not it?
Oh, you good. No, sir, it's the other one.
Hold on. Afterlife, right?
Go up. You got three of them?
Yeah.
That's the only 2 I sent you?
You sent me 3.
Yeah, all right. So the next one is the one with
Story of
little
origin.
cartoon. Yeah.
Story of origin.
Yes, sir.
Story of creation. I mean.
No, we already did
No,
that one.
that we already seen that one. I gave them to him, and I gave them to you in order. So it was that first one and that one, then last.
Okay, so the
But
second one.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that one.
That's the one you
Pretty good,
posted.
though.
The universe is
Yes, sir.
geometric. Whether it's
Yeah, this is the
people,
one I posted.
trees, cats, planets,
Yeah, you can rewind
solar
it.
systems,
Rewind
stars,
it.
you name it. Everything in the universe is geometric. Whether it's people, trees, cats, planets, solar systems, stars, you name it. Anything in the universe can be measured on a geometric scale. Having said that, it's important to note that creation is also geometric. What we're going to be looking at today is the pattern of creation. Essentially, what this means is that everything in the universe comes out of this single pattern. I'm not making this up. This single image will change everything. When I mentioned in Lesson 5 that the ancient Egyptians and even more ancient civilizations knew about a deeper, basic understanding of the universe, this is the flower of life, and it is also the creation pattern of everything in existence. Even non-tangible things, emotions, thoughts, music in its entire spectrum, everything comes from this image. Okay, so there are 13 information systems that comes out of the flower of life. Today, I'm going to show you how physical reality can manifest itself, which is just one of the 13 systems. In future lessons, we will look at more. It's also important to note that at first it may not make sense. I ask that you do not choose immediately to shut this out, and just watch with an open mind, and try and see this in a new way. Also, I want to tell you that by learning about sacred geometry simply by observing, you are absorbing only a very minuscule amount of information. If you really want to learn more, you must begin to draw it yourself. I kid you not, when you do this, you begin to see things in a new way. You begin to understand why things are done in the way that they are done. Promise. The flower of life was known around the world in ancient times. It was found in Ireland, Turkey, Israel, Egypt, China, Greece, Germany, India, and Iceland. It's also been recorded to have been found in England, Tibet, Japan, Sweden, Lapland, the Yucatan, and I think 14 other places. This thing is everywhere. Not only that, but everywhere around the world it has the same name, the flower of life. Now, to understand the flower of life, first we have to talk about how it's formed. This could get incredibly complex, so I'll try and keep it simple. Imagine consciousness, or spirit, floating in a void, which means it's nothingness, and then spirit. No physical body or mind, just spirit, and that's it. Then blackness, essentially nothing, all around the spirit, for infinite. Spirit decides to do something, so it expands its consciousness all around itself as far as it can go without moving. It creates a sphere around itself. This is the first circle in the flower of life. Then, spirit has an awareness of what's around itself in 360 degrees. It moves to the very edge of the sphere anywhere, and repeats what it did the first time. It creates this image, which also creates the Vesica Pisces. Within the Vesica Pisces is a vast and incredible amount of knowledge about width, proportion, depth. Also comes the square roots of 2, 3, and 5, which are all numbers that go on forever. But even more interestingly comes geometric information.
For a second.
Just for a second. So I think it's interesting to consider that when people, not just this video, but when people say, there's nothing in darkness, right? I think that's a misnomer, man, for how important that darkness is, man. And once again, it's so easy to take from that subconsciously, even through the slave training of the mind and all that kind of stuff, that black is nothing, right? When everything exists, everything that is existing and that is being brought about, even in this video, comes from what? Comes from that which is supposed to be nothing. So I think it's a misrepresentation of darkness, blackness, or whatever. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, pause it for 1 second. Hold up, and just to jump on what he said. Look at our globe, our Earth. We are spinning in a space of black matter, dark matter. Everything around this space is black. Black is beautiful, baby.
Right.
Hey, they even got they even got the CBS sign up there.
Right. Hey, and there's a game. Prince sent me a video, and there's a game that you can get to for that flower of life.
Ah, you was on point. Okay, okay. You was really
About
on.
light. We'll talk
Okay.
about that in a moment. Now, spirit has no choice but to do it again. Spirit is flawless, and therefore it will move flawlessly, creating the next circle either here or here, exactly one radius away from the other circle next to it. Every time spirit moves another sphere, more and more knowledge comes out of the image that is created. The first complete image to be formed is this. It has two names, the seed of life, or the Genesis pattern, and for good reason. Now, let's look at the book of Genesis for a second. Each of these movements or creations of circles can be seen as another day. On the first movement, the second sphere, it created knowledge about not only mathematical proportions, but light. The first sentence of Genesis says, "The earth was without form and void, and that the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." In the very next sentence, God says, "Let there be light." The key here is in the order. The movement happened first, then light happened immediately after. Well, but what about the waters? Well, you have to remember that the Bible has been changed over time a lot. The ancient Egyptians would say that the way our modern Bibles begin creation is impossible, especially if you think about it from a physics point of view. Imagine a dark, infinite space that goes on forever and ever in all directions. You're just floating there with nothing. You can't really fall, but where would you fall to? From a purely physics or mathematical point of view, motion itself, or kinetic energy, is absolutely impossible in a void. You can't even rotate, because motion cannot become real unless there's one other object in the space around you. So the ancient Egyptians would say that before God moved upon the face of the waters, it would first have to create something to move relative to. So, Genesis pattern. After 3 spheres, you get the Holy Trinity. Another interesting one, it says in many Bibles of the world, not just the Christian Bible, that on the 4th day of Genesis, exactly 1/2 of creation was completed. Starting from the first motion, exactly 1/2 of the circles were formed on the 4th day. 5th day of Genesis, 6th circle, more information, and then on the 6th day, a geometric miracle takes place. The last circle forms a complete 6-petaled flower. This is what many earlier Bibles meant when they said, "In the beginning there were 6." Our Bible even said creation was formed in 6 days, and this fits exactly. This is the pattern of Genesis, and so it's called the Genesis pattern. It's also the beginning of the creation of the universe that we live in. These original movements of spirit are really important, but now let's look at something even cooler. Another image that comes out of this pattern is this. It's called the Tree of Life. Many may recognize this as the Jewish or Hebrew Kabbalah, but the Kabbalah did not originate this image, and there is proof. The Tree of Life does not belong to any culture, not even the Egyptians, who carved the Tree of Life on 2 sets of 3 pillars at Karnak Temple, Luxor, over 5,000 years ago. It's outside any race or religion, as with all of these images. They are patterns that are intimately connected with nature. You'll also notice that every circle on the Tree of Life is either the length or width of the Vesica Pisces. The second image beyond Genesis in the Flower of Life is the Egg of Life. This is formed during the second vortex motion. Upon its completion, it creates an image like this, a 3-dimensional shape that you can hold in your hand. If you were to connect their centers, you would see a cube. So what? Who cares? Well, the ancient Egyptians did, because they were concerned with creation, life, and death. They called this cluster of spheres the Egg of Life. You probably won't believe me just yet, but this shape is the morphogenic structure that created your body. Your entire physical existence is dependent on the Egg of Life structure, and everything about you was created from that form. Everything from your eye color to how long your fingers are. This is a whole lesson on its own, so let's move on for now. All around the world, the Flower of Life was always made the exact same way. See, this pattern can clearly go on forever. However, they always stopped after 19 circles. Why? Well, because they didn't want you to see what I'm about to show you. Back then, this image and knowledge was so sacred that they couldn't allow it to become common knowledge. It was appropriate at that time. However, now we either use the information or fall further into darkness. In biology, all cells have a zona pellucida around the edge. These circles around the Flower of Life are the zona pellucida of the Flower of Life. You must remove these, then complete the spheres that were cut off by the zona pellucida. With one more step, you will have the secret. Finish the drawing, add the final missing circles, giving you this. This image is the fruit of life. This pattern of 13 circles is one of the holiest, most sacred forms in existence. It's called the fruit because it is the result, the fruit, from which the fabric of the details of the reality were created. Remember when we talked about male and female energy, lesson 4? As you can see, this image is female. It has no straight lines. However, when you combine male lines with these female circles, something amazing happens. What you do is draw a straight line from the very center of every single circle to every other circle in this image. When you do this, you get an image which is known throughout the universe, everywhere, as Metatron's cube. It is one of the most important informational systems in the universe, one of the basic creation patterns in existence. So what is Metatron's cube? Well, anyone who has studied sacred geometry, or even regular geometry for that matter, knows that there are 5 unique shapes in the universe, and that they are crucial to understanding both regular and sacred geometry. They are called the Platonic solids. A Platonic solid has certain characteristics by definition. First of all of its faces are the same size. For example, a cube, the most well-known platonic solid, has a square on
camera, Prince.
all of its faces are the same size. Secondly, the edges of the platonic solids are all the same length. All edges of the cube are the same length. Third, it only has one size of interior angles between the faces. In the case of the cube, this angle is 90 degrees. And fourth, when put inside of a sphere, all of the points will touch the edge of the sphere perfectly. With that definition, there are only 4 shapes besides the cube that fit that description. So what are they? Well, we have the dodecahedron, the tetrahedron, the octahedron, the isosahedron, and the hexahedron. All of these shapes are found within Metatron's cube. This knowledge is also where original alchemy came from. The ancient alchemists and great souls like Pythagoras, father of Greece, considered each shape to have an elemental aspect to them. The tetrahedron was considered fire, the cube was earth, the octahedron was air, the isosahedron was water, and the dodecahedron was ether. Ether, also known as prana, and tachyon energy are all the same thing. They extend anywhere and are accessible at any point in space, time, and dimension. This is the great secret of zero-point technology. The sphere is voidness. These 6 elements are the building blocks of the universe, and they create the qualities of the universe. To summarize, this is the first informational system that comes out of the fruit of life through Metatron's cube. In alchemy, they rarely discussed ether. I've read that in the Pythagorean school, if you even uttered the word dodecahedron outside of the school, they would kill you on the spot. That's how sacred this shape was. 200 years later, when Plato was alive, he would discuss it, but only very carefully. This is because the dodecahedron is near the outer edge in your energy field, and is the highest form of consciousness. There's quite a bit more here, but I don't think I can go much further on it right now. Anyways, recognize this? The periodic table of elements? Every single element on this table has a geometric relation to one of these 5 shapes. Modern scholars ridiculed this.
Now, this is the only thing that I didn't understand about any of this was the secretness of it. So it's gotta be, like you said, Jamie, more to this, bro, that they still ain't letting it be known. Now, that's a reason why they want to not tell people, man. It's gotta be something to it. Like, this has gotta be more to it, man. And I didn't even know about the ether part. I even seen 5 elements, and it was fire, water, and then the girl was, I guess, ether, but I didn't know ether was a part of it, man. That's pretty deep. There's what? What happened?
No, I was just listening.
No, who said 5 elements?
No, she was just repeating. She was just repeating what you said. 5 elements.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know ether was part of that. And that's a gas, right? So you got water, gas, earth, water, fire. It's kind of weird. But just what got me was the secretness of it. You would get killed if you brought up the name. Like, what? I still don't get that part of it. But go ahead.
This idea until the 1980s, when Professor Robert
Hey, just pay attention to those shapes though. The
Right.
the 5 elements. Just those are real important, man. To the
Right.
video that I'm gonna show. That's gonna complement these.
I got you.
All right.
Robert Moon at the University of Chicago demonstrated that the entire periodic table of elements, literally everything in the physical world, is based on these same 5 forms.
Right.
In fact, throughout modern physics, chemistry, and biology, the sacred geometric patterns of creation are being rediscovered. Another example is the egg of life that I showed you earlier. Hopefully that will help you to understand just how incredible and important of a discovery this truly is. Everything that modern science knows about the elements and reality are tied together through the platonic solids, which come out of Metatron's cube, which is formed out of the fruit of life, which comes from the flower of life, which is made by spirit. Damn. Whether you're convinced yet or not, this is the missing piece of the puzzle. It all comes down to spirit. Don't forget, this is just
that in there
one
with
of
spirit
the
though.
informational systems that created the universe. If you
horror.
want to study this on depth in your own, the best resource I'm aware of is the book The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up with something I think you'll enjoy. Do you believe in aliens? Even after lesson 5, I realize many of you might be skeptical. Would you believe me if I flat out told you that aliens have been coming to Earth and helping us for a very long time now? No? How about now? This is the flower of life in a crop circle. Remember, the flower of life is not only tied to everything in the universe, but consciousness, spirit, as well. Here's another one, and another one. Here's the Vesica Pisces in a crop circle. See, by creating these crop circles, aliens have been actually affecting and helping the consciousness of the planet. Do not fear aliens. They're here to help.
My nigga.
Well, I say, yeah, all right.
Hey man, I like that, man. Hey, That's good damn job, King. Yeah, I like that, man.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
brother, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it,
for
man.
real, man.
yeah, you did a damn good job, man. You know,
You
I
did
told you
that,
from the
man.
jump, man. We gonna get under your skin. That's for sure.
Hey,
Hey,
man,
Jonathan, what's
I
cracking,
love it.
baby?
I love it. Hey, my
Man.
brothers.
What's happening, King? Damn, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Big time.
There you go.
You know? Yeah.
Still break it
Your
up,
phone.
King.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
There you
Yeah,
go.
what you got, an iPhone? What you got, an iPhone? No, man, I got a regular old Android. I think,
Oh,
you know,
my man.
the broader my technology get, the better they can hear and see. So with that being said, I'm very impressed. You know, it's nice to sit at the table and dine with y'all on things that are traction to a broader and brighter understanding that just might get a guy to do something of consequence with his life. You know, I've been saying that at the essence, base and root and back of all things is the spirit. You just can't make it nothing else. You know, before there was a human being to understand ourselves to be there. There was a producer. Before there was concept of history.
Break it up again, King. You breaking up again.
Before there was any concept of history, religion, culture, anything that we comprehend now had a root, as I understand it, trillions and many trillions of years ago, that would have me in all my understanding realize that to connect to it in any realistic way, the smarter we get, the more we recognize the spirit. I read the other day or watched the video the other day where they're saying even the earth and our universe, our galaxy and the universe is an atom. And you know, the flower of life, the tree of life, and the atom all have some similarities. I don't know if anybody is noticing this, but they all have similarities. But at the base and root of each, before anything, as the brother stated, you know, you can have no color without first having black. You can have no color, no number without first having one. They're indivisible. The smarter we get, the less we know in trying to establish for ourselves an understanding with the stamp of me, myself, and I on it. But the more I connect to the spirit that's within me, it doesn't matter what your religious belief system is. It doesn't matter your history, your upbringing, your financial bracket, or your political stance is to me. I see God. And I could use a variety of names. I could go to remotest antiquity. I could use names from the dynasty, but that's just a dynastic era that I'm quoting. I could know time before that time and use the language they use. And it's just a quoting of the language at that time, but the spirit was there before they came. And it's going to be here after we, with our bright selves, you know, whether we do something with the knowledge we're acquiring, with the information we have, gaining traction, making it easier or more profitable for our children to learn on a higher level or not. See? What good does it gain me to be patted on the back for being bright if nothing changes about the reality of what we as a people face? I personally believe that the Jewish ability, the last people, the last Adam, these Jews, have been able to find success because they shaped for themselves an understanding of God and were smart enough to make the rest of the world believe that he chose them. They got your story, rewrote it, put their name and their face on it, and we wonder why we can't get nowhere in life. You know,
Cause
no
we more
matter what.
godly, cause we more godly than they are. They ain't winning. Just look like they
Man,
winning. But they winning.
The story is our story retold from their perspective. You know, a gift of being a conqueror. And you know, as Jamie and I spoke about last week, there were thousands of Adams in history. We was the first one. That blackness that little character just talked about is the base and origin of all mankind. We're humans meaning derived from the soil, indigenous to the planet, the only ones truly indigenous to the soil of the planet, and everybody else is a number after the one. But I can't tell nobody that.
Preach.
I don't tell a that knows or has a concept. You know, how can you love a God or love a culture and we don't really know it? How can I love God that I've never seen and hate my brother, the reflection of him that I see all day? You know, I add wisdom, except that I establish for myself and my children a rites of passage that will produce a heaven while we live. While we live, I don't have to die to experience it. If I could just connect to another Adam, if I could just connect to another well-rounded individual, as expressed in that video, if I could just connect to a brother that is sound and firmly rooted within himself, that is willing to be a branch of a tree. See, we need help in our communities, in hospitals, and government. I don't know if you notice it, but these people that we're talking about are chosen. The only reason that they're chosen is because they
evil.
Set a principle. They submit to a certain. You know, for me to eat, somebody got to die, and the rich and powerful,
man,
or the knowledge, but to eat together in that evil. The gazelle will call the lion evil, but is he a devil or is he a lion?
Yeah, he is, man. When they put that money name on that money, man, that's when they messed up everything, bro. That's when everything, Brother Jonathan, man, that's when everything went left, man. I'm saying, when they put that money, that brought hate, that brought greed, that brought jealousy, that brought it all. Somebody got better shoes than me.
Yeah.
I got a homeboy who died behind a pair of Jordans. I mean, 7th grade high school, junior high, bro. He going to school. He gets smoked behind a pair of Jordan shoes he had on, man. So come on, man.
And so what I'm saying is through traction, it's through the establishment of a rites of passage where it permeates whatever system, you know, our people might have. There's a core to it, a genetic connection that we shouldn't be able to deny. But if I'm seeing a nigga when I look at my alternative.
Hold on, you're breaking up again, King. You're breaking up again.
Say it one more time.
Seeing a nigga as a post brother, when I see a reflection of myself, you know, if I don't know the God within, I won't know the world without. And you know, charts at home, so,
you know, black folks, you know, black folks.
A rites of passage that we all can identify with. We all see the need. We all know what's not working. Can we spend some time on what can and is working? That we might formulate a concept that every nook and cranny of society might be able to heal itself. It's through worshiping outside of ourselves. Like we got Nation of Islam, you got the Moore Science Temple, you got the Melanics, you got the NAACP, you got this organization, you got that organization, but everybody doing it as a cipher independent of other ciphers. For some reason, we just can't put two things together.
You spoke on a nation of Islam, or Farrakhan and whatnot. I still be trying to figure out because people speak on him so highly and so
Well, I
glorified,
mentioned
But I want to know. I just want to know what my man has done because I ain't seen nothing. I'm 44 years old and I ain't seen nothing that man has done. I mean, I don't never seen him. He came out
and this is
on Black Lives Matter, but hey, he showed his face and he was gone.
yeah.
I don't
I
understand
understand what you're saying.
this glorified to this man. What's he do?
Yeah, well, it wasn't to
What's he
bring
do?
glory to him. It's the institution. Before there was a Farrakhan, there was the word, as taught by Master Farad Muhammad, and then Honorable Elijah Muhammad that brought up Malcolm X's and Farrakhan's. This is my point, though, brother. As long as my focus is on what is not, I'll never get to what can be. And what I was sharing with you is a variety of different institutions that I could say the very same thing you just said about. And the reason is everybody trying to do it from their own corner because everybody want notoriety, everybody want dominion, everybody want power. But the nations around the world that are independent, that have
Mr.
firm
Johnson, I gotta
roots.
disagree with that, Mr. Johnson. I gotta disagree with that because everybody don't. You got that's where you had your Malcolm X's and your Huey Newtons and your H. Rap Brown, your Starkey Carmichael and your Angela Davis and all of them. And people didn't want no credit for that. They just want to change. You know what I'm saying? You got these dudes now who want to show off and get clout and all that, but where's our people at now? Mr. Jonathan, Brother Jonathan, if we put a group together right now, me, you, and whoever else, and we clicked up, and they gonna kill us. They're gonna kill us.
Okay. Yeah, and
they're gonna kill us dead. But let me tell you something. But they just had the anniversary of 150 years in the United States of America of KKK anniversary, and they celebrated it. That's what we in. That's the country we in. That's where we live. This is where we at. We are black no matter what race. If I'm mixed, if I'm dark, if I'm light, whatever. You still a nigga. You a nigga regard. Man, look at what they did to all our famous people. Michael Jackson. James Brown, Rick James, Prince, every last one of them, bro. Come on, man. They ain't gonna never give us shit. And once black folks understand that, because it's over with now, it's over with now. Like my man, look, I don't be talking about he going to doing this and doing that. Okay, that happens. But ain't no movements going down. We let them get too strong and too powerful, man. It ain't happening no more. We can write that up, man. We just sit back and watch the fireworks. That's all we gonna do. The technology has advanced us, man. We done.
When Malcolm X was here, that's the same thing they told Martin Luther King. That's the same thing. Sometimes
Break it up again, King. Hey, no, hey, unmute yourself. You muted yourself. Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, Mr. Johnson. Brother Johnson.
Unmute yourself. Yeah, you muted. There you go. There you go. You broke up again, man. Start over.
It was all that came in. This is where we lose it, gentlemen. If we invested half of the time we spend talking about what black people ain't, I volunteered at the Salvation Army the other day while waiting on this job to come to fruition, to start work. And I was in there with a couple people in prominent positions. And the topic of government came up. And out of nowhere, one of the brighter of the crowd says, Obama was shit.
Said Obama wasn't shit.
Out of all that man, yeah, listen to what I'm saying. Right?
That's what they said, he wasn't shit.
Obama, yeah, they picked one or two things out of the 8 years in the path and the obstacles he had to jump like the sperm going through the ovum to get to that seat. And
didn't he go in after Bush? He went in after Bush Jr. All that fucked up shit he had to clean up. God damn.
Yeah, conditions were ripe for failure. Conditions were ripe for failure, but that ain't what was demonstrated. This is my point. Crabs in a pot in place.
I can't make, I can't make anybody see forgive themselves. I can show you the seed in the water and give
Hey,
you strength.
you breaking up again, King.
You might want to chill, Mr. Johnson.
Go back to the spot you was at.
Yeah,
Go
you
back to
breaking
the
up
spot
again.
you was at, Jonathan, and it was real clear.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you be breaking up real bad.
Yeah, you was real clear about that.
Right here. The
It
point I'm
seems
making,
like
sir, is that yes, sir. Am I okay now? Yes, sir. The point I'm making is that in that video you just showed me was a series of ciphers. They had to be 360 before they could connect. And we have institutions that are established that are supposed to be for the upliftment of our people. But everybody's trying to do it on their own. And accept that we
But what about the
and
black
move
colleges? But
and
Mr. John, Brother Jonathan, I don't mean to interrupt you, but our black colleges do not get funds. We don't get funds. They fund Duke and North Carolina and all that, but we don't get funds. We have to get boosters and black folks that are rich and famous to help the black colleges. So I mean, what do you do about that? That's why I say it's got to be a change in there, man. Why don't they give us money for the black colleges?
The week prior to last week, there was a demonstration on cooperative economics and what we spend our money on. We don't spend money with ourselves. This is the point I was making along those lines.
Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Jonathan. I don't mean to cut you off, but please hear me out,
Jonathan,
man.
his last
Hold
name
up,
is
man.
McClay.
Real talk, man. Mr. McClay. Just let me say, real talk. I just got to say this, man, because I like I say, with Unc and you, man, 1996, y'all would have been, yeah, man, maybe, man, yeah. But 2023, y'all still talking that revolution shit? Really, I'm telling you, the technology ain't gonna let you do shit. You ain't getting away with nothing. To be a criminal these days, you'll be a fool. All that talking is dead. See, look, Al Sharpton and got up out the street. Jesse Jackson, you don't see Jesse Jackson no more? Man, ain't nobody talking no more, man.
Let me say something real quick. So one thing, Jonathan, you shared some really good stuff, man. I appreciate it. And the thing that I will not let anybody take from me is my efforts, right? And my efforts are not based on someone else's masses appreciation. I would love to see the masses change. I would love for it to reach all these other parameters. And I don't think it's impossible, but I'm not going to give up. And I'm not going, and because Prince, I am going to be that dude that's going making noise. Just let me finish.
And I will walk with you, but we're not going to make no noise, is what I'm saying.
I'm making noise. Fuck what we making, okay? I'm making noise for our people. If they don't want to buy it, that's on them. But I am not going to be an empty call, right? I am going to make a difference, right? And it's not just for me. It's for the masses. And I am all for all people, right? Not just the Black people. But I'll be damned if I just let our Black history and our Black culture and our Black proactive differences blow in the wind. I'm not going to do that, right?
And it starts one person.
And so we get to hear. So we get to hear all these perspectives, right? And then like what's being talked about is how can we water them all, right? And then so that's my thing. I'm not going to demean.
Man, y'all, we can get upset if y'all want and say I'm wrong for what I'm saying, but I'm telling you straight up, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all of them, anybody who tried to make a change, anybody who stood up to make a difference, and who killed them. Let's talk about who killed these prolific brothers. Another brother. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Which goes back to the root. If I can just get one point across, man, it'll simply be this one. That any nation established on this planet right now had a start, they were at a disadvantage. You can't discount the spirit. If you have a spiritual foundation, man, trees are bow to you, no matter what somebody says. The reality is that our safe conditions for us. right? Where we
could
had
have
Mr.
this
Clayton in the
conversation
90s,
without
but
somebody.
when it was a higher level of
I
hip
don't.
hop, even when they
Hey,
had
you
a
gotta,
higher
hey, you
level of
gotta,
hip hop.
hey, you gotta let him finish his thought, man. Let him finish.
I don't mean to call it. All I'm saying is that, the route to change is fundamental, and that route is rooted in people being willing to work in concert to make a difference. And except you have that, it is a waste of time. Proverbs talks about giving your pearls to swine. Some people don't want to make a difference. We want the McDonald's way, hurry up, let's have it now. But truth be told, if I have to die standing for something, right? I've died standing for something, and I just might be remembered. If I have to die for my children to have an opportunity that's truly equal, I don't mind doing that, bro.
Straight
I
up.
tell you this much, you go and ask any youngster right now who H. Rap Brown is, who W.E.B. Du Bois is, who Starkey Carmichael is, who's Marcus Garvey. You go
So
ask any
this
youngster
is
right
so
now who
this
they
is
are, and they ain't
so
gonna
this
tell
is
you. So yeah,
so
you're
this
gonna
your
be
job.
remembered.
So this your
Yeah, you're
job
gonna
right
be
here.
remembered.
So that
Yeah,
so this your
I
so
get what you're
that's
saying,
that's your job right there. That's your
bro. I
job
get
right
what you're
there.
saying, bro. I
As a
get what you're saying,
44-year-old, as a 44-year-old that
bro.
knows all those people you mentioned, it's up to you. Ain't nobody else. It's up to you to spread that.
Bro, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. We had
Okay,
higher
so
conscious music.
well,
We
listen,
had
man.
higher conscious music
There's
in hip
plenty of
hop.
them that want to
We
hear
had
it.
Hey,
that.
it's a
Now
whole lot of them
listen.
that want to hear it, man. And
I promise.
whether you
I hear
believe it or
you.
not, it's a
I hear
whole
you.
lot of people out here, man,
I hear you.
that are really, really paying attention, man. Hey,
Yeah,
you
they
will
really
see.
paying attention, but ain't nothing changing, Jamie. You can
You
say
will
all
And
see.
y'all want,
gentlemen,
man.
You
We still got
gentlemen,
the ghettos the same way. The ghettos still the same way. Section 8 still the same way. Ain't nothing changed. It's still on the other side of the railroad tracks where all the black folks live in the lower property value sections. What has changed? What has changed?
but gentlemen, I
Some people.
also think we need to realize that everybody's perception is based on their reality. So I have people coming to me telling me all the time, this is happening, kids don't care. But if I'm in a different reality where I see children actually caring, where I see children actually growing and teaching, then I know that there's another reality where they're not. So it's not everywhere. It's just maybe this is your perception because this is your reality. And even going back to the Black colleges and funding, I feel the same way. But the only way that we get that funding is if these Black athletes choose to go to these HBCUs, then the funding comes in. You know why? Because they're winning. And even those white dollars will start going to those Black HBCUs. But what does that start with? That starts with our athletes, pushing them to go, hey, I know there may not seem like it's much opportunity there. I know you can go to Duke. I know you can go, other places. And it seems like there's the opportunity. But if we all just went to the HBCUs, you don't only get Black dollars, you get white dollars, and so just one person, and it just takes one person, and you don't think one person makes a big difference, but everybody makes a difference. And once that one person does it, then their cousin follows, then their friend follows, and then that's when we make a difference as a collective.
So let me
And
interject
don't
on
get me
that part
wrong.
right there.
Don't get me
Let
wrong.
me
I just don't
interject
want
on that
nobody to
part.
get me wrong. I just don't want nobody to get me wrong and feel like I don't feel for my people. I'm just passionate about it, and I see so much destruction and so much just lack of respect. That's why I talk and I'm on it how I'm on it. That's it.
Hey, it's all good, man. I love the passion. So I want to comment on the Queen's statement. The majority of these Black colleges are not getting the dollars, right? The people, the Caucasians, the Japanese, and everybody else, they get the grants, they get the funding, right? They get the dollars, and that's a big discrepancy going around right now. Right now, Ed Reed, he's a Hall of Famer, right? And he brought that out. Deion Sanders brought that out, and a
It's
couple and a bunch
2023.
of other people that I listen to brought that out. See, I'm not dealing with the college funds myself, so but I got a granddaughter that is, right, and so that HBCU with the athletes coming in, you know, that's a fact. That's definitely going to bring some attention. Is it going to bring the dollars? We're going to see. We're going to see. And then what are they going to do with the dollars, right? Right. So my point still is, I'm still going to go out and radiate what I radiate, right? What I learned, what I believe in, what I trust, and how I walk it out, right? And so, and it is going to make a difference. It does make a difference. But if I live in the guap and I'm in that frame of mind of everybody doesn't do this or everybody does that, I think that's a discredit to the people that are doing something, right? And I think everybody's doing something, right? Even if it looks like to one perspective that they're doing nothing, they're doing something, right? I was a bad example, and people glean from that a lot, right? So it's all relative, right?
And you know, I didn't mean it like that.
The difference is the bottom line is
that.
the bottom line is I'm not gonna stop, right?
Yeah, but you know, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean
I
it
know
like
you did.
wasn't
I know
looking
you
at
didn't. I'm just
saying I
stating.
was speaking on the bigger already.
I'm just stating the character of Lorenzo. I'm just right,
No doubt.
and
No doubt.
not soulfully from me. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm about the guap, man. I'm about everybody, all the races and all that kind of stuff, man. They know I'm about it. Anybody that knows me, right?
Hey,
And so,
let me play this last little video right quick, man. It's only a couple of minutes, man. I think it's shit, I don't even know how long it is.
hey, Jonathan, thanks
It ain't
for the
that
input,
long,
man.
Yeah, Mr. Jonathan. I hope you didn't
Yes,
get
sir.
and I hope you didn't feel disrespected, Mr.
Hey, man,
McClay.
this is
I
what,
didn't, you know.
hey man, listen. This is what it takes. If I may, before you start that, just real quick. A sound spiritual base, because our people are hurt, man. We in a society where death is as common as, you know, the house next door. Where, and it's a self-perpetuating system. And so for us to get out of it, I'll say one last time, at the base and root of change is the spirit. And once we get a concept of ourselves as something just beyond, it ain't even got to be on no grand scale, just beyond what we've been orientated to be. The numbers don't matter, because, you know, when it pops, it's gonna be like wildfire. For as was the case with anybody that overcame obstacles that were imposed on their society. But by hearing each other out is where the healing happens, man. By talking our differences and help with it, if we find that way, we're at, man. This table is a beautiful thing. We having the first supper, according to my understanding, man. And there's a lot that's possible to come out of it. So I'm patient. I know I have to be with my brother, you know. And understanding where I come from, man, anybody would, I mean, I was, you know, if somebody was patient with me so I could see my way in being patient with you, that we might have a chance to get something productive out of this meeting. That's all I'm saying.
I'm the old ass man.
Hey, so listen, man. More and more of our people are waking up, man. More and more of our people are waking up. They're starting to wake up. A whole lot of them, man. If you pay attention, look at the social media. Look at YouTube. You will see, man. You see so many platforms that people are literally waking up, man. And you just gotta pay attention to that, man. That's something to pay attention to, man.
Hey, man, I've been paying attention to it. I've been watching.
Yep.
And not just black people, all people, you know, all races, they waking up, man. They don't like what's being that's been kept from them, from us.
But all people need to wake up.
They don't like that.
All people need to wake up.
They don't like that they've been tricked. They making noise about it. They putting videos out there. They going and reaching people. They standing up in front of their own people as a difference, man. So, you know, there's a lot of change going on, man.
Hey, so listen, man. I'm gonna play this video, man, right quick.
Yeah, Jamie don't want to hear me. Damn, that's all right, Jamie. You know I'm spitting that realness, man. What on? What's up?
Nikola Tesla, the greatest mind of all the time and also a man of mysteries, said that if you knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have a key to the universe. So, what did he mean by this? Had he found some code of the universe? In this video, I will tell you why did Nikola Tesla say this. After watching the video, you will understand how our whole universe is controlled by numbers 3, 6, and 9, and how they are present everywhere in the universe. You will also know how the numbers 3, 6, 9 represent a higher dimensional world, while rest of the numbers belong to our three-dimensional world. I will also discuss how number 9 is the controller of all the other numbers and how it can control even space and time. Here I will provide many mathematical and physical evidences and examples to prove how the number 9 is present everywhere and is the controller of all the other numbers and the universe. Our universe is so mathematical. Almost everything in nature is highly symmetrical and follows geometrical patterns. We can see these patterns in the form of golden ratio and Fibonacci sequence present in many things in the nature. Everything is made up of particles, and if we go deeper at even more microscopic level, we reach into the quantum world, which is pure mathematics. All the living things in this world are made up of cells. Multicellular organisms are formed by the division of a single cell. A single cell divides into two cells, then after division of both the cells, we get four cells. Then 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128 cells are produced. In this way, the doubling sequence continues, and finally, we have a full multicellular organism. Now let's try to understand this sequence mathematically. You can see here is a sequence of doubling of numbers starting from number 1, like 1, 2, 4, 8, and so on. Here the next number is double of the previous number. Now we will convert all of these numbers into a single digit number. For this, we will add the digits of the number until we get a single digit number. This final single digit is called the digital root of the number. So here you can see the digital roots of these numbers. Now observe the digital roots shown in orange color. Can you observe a pattern here? You will see a repeated sequence of numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Even if you repeat it up to infinity, the same pattern repeats. Now, instead of doubling the numbers, let's halve the numbers repeatedly. This time also we will start with number 1. Add all the digits of the number and get the digital root as shown here. You will be surprised to see that this time too we get the same numbers repeatedly that we got in case of doubling the numbers. So in both the cases of doubling and halving the numbers, we are getting the same numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5. Did you notice one amazing thing here? In both the sequences, numbers 3, 6, and 9 are missing every time. In the diagram, these repeating numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5 are shown in a white color. And the numbers that are missing in the sequence every time, that is 3, 6, and 9, are shown by yellow color. But what does the absence of numbers 3, 6, and 9 in the sequence mean? Does it point to any secret code of the God or some mystery of the universe? According to some researchers, numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5 represent our three-dimensional world where we live in. An absence of numbers 3, 6, and 9 in the sequence means these numbers belong to a higher dimensional world. But what will happen if we double or half the numbers starting from number 3 or 6? Let's double the numbers starting from number 3. On doubling the previous number, we get the next number. Now find the digital roots of the numbers. You will be surprised after seeing the results. We will get only two numbers, 3 and 6, every time. Notice all the numbers that were present in the previous sequence are absent this time, and numbers 3 and 6 were completely absent in the previous sequences. Okay, let's do some more maths. This time we will have the numbers repeatedly starting from number 3. Here are the numbers. Now again get the digital roots of the numbers by adding the digits of the number. And here is what we get. Amazing! This time also we get the same numbers 3 and 6. Hence, whether we double or half the numbers, if we start with number 3, we get numbers 3 and 6 only. Even if we double or half the numbers starting from number 6, we will get the same numbers 3 and 6 every time. But surprisingly, even this time, 9 is absent in the sequence. Actually, number 9 controls the numbers 3 and 6, and numbers 1, 2, 4 are controlled by number 3, while numbers
Man,
8,
please
7
pardon me,
and
man. I don't
5 are
understand none of
controlled
this.
by
What is
number
going
6.
on?
In this way, number 9 controls all the numbers. You will get incredible results when we
Say it again.
I can't follow none of this. Didn't I just tell you I suck at math? I'm trying
Hey,
to figure out.
no,
I'm trying to figure out.
listen.
That's why I don't even
No,
like you.
no.
That's
This
why I
is
don't even
all.
like you,
Listen.
bro.
All this is
That's why I don't
doing.
even like you, bro.
No, this is doing. This is compliment. This is a direct compliment of what you just played, King.
That ain't nothing. Like I just,
Yes, it is. You got to pay
it
attention.
didn't
Yes, it
have.
is.
It had circles. Look, I had spheres and triangles and octagons and hexagons. These are
Okay.
numbers, bro. You
Listen.
got
Hold
these
on. Hold
odd
on.
numbers
Listen.
in it.
Listen.
I got my
Listen. They're
shoes
gonna.
on. I
They're
can't
gonna.
even count.
They're gonna get to all those. They're gonna get to it. They just starting out right here. It's a hey.
Man, I got my phone in my hand. I'm counting with
All
my
right.
fingers. You know, I got my fingers.
Just pay attention, man. Watch this. Just pay attention. Watch this. It's easy.
This boy here. Let me straight to math class.
start doubling and halving the numbers from number 9.
That's nice. You got one?
Dude, you coming? Alka-Seltzer Plus Power Max gels with more concentrated power. Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. With Alka-Seltzer Plus. Also tried for fast sinus and pain relief.
We are getting only a single number, number 9. What will happen if we halve the numbers repeatedly starting from number 9? Numbers. You will get 9 is absent in the sequence. Actually, number 9 controls the numbers 3 and 6, and numbers 1, 2, 4 are controlled by number 3, while numbers 8, 7, and 5 are controlled by number 6. In this way, number 9 controls all the numbers. You will get incredible results when we start doubling and halving the numbers from number 9. We are getting only a single number, number 9. What will happen if we halve the numbers repeatedly starting from number 9? What you see? We are getting number 9 every time. No other number is present in the sequence. Even on adding the digits in the table of 9, we get number 9 only. So we see whether we double or half the numbers starting from number 9, we always get the number 9 only. It implies that number 9 represents itself. Now let me show you how powerful the number 9 is and how it is present everywhere in the universe. Let's start dividing a circle and see the sum of digits of the resulting angle. As we know that a full circle makes an angle of 360 degrees at its center. If we add the digits of 360, we get number 9. But what will happen if we keep on dividing the circle in half infinitely? The results that you will get will definitely boggle your mind. A semicircle makes an angle of 180 degrees at the center, which again adds up to 9. Now again divide the circle in half and we have an angle of 90 degrees. Find the digital root of the number. It's 9 again.
I can't do
Repeat
it.
the
I
same
can't do it.
process and we will get 9 as the digital root. Now see what will happen if we keep on dividing the circle in half repeatedly. Unbelievably, you will get number 9 as the digital root every time, even on repeating the same process infinite times. But is this true only for a circle, or does it apply to polygons also? Here is a triangle. We know that sum of all the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. On adding the digits of the number, we get 9. In case of a rectangle also, if we add the digits of the sum of all the interior angles of a rectangle, which is 360 degrees, we get number 9. Now we have a pentagon. Sum of all the interior angles of a pentagon is 540 degrees, which also adds up to 9. We get the same digital root 9 on repeating the same process for hexagon, heptagon, and octagon. If we keep on increasing the number of sides of the polygon, we will get the same number 9 every time. Did you notice an amazing thing here? When we were dividing the circle in half repeatedly, we were reaching the singularity of a space. As every time we got number 9, it means number 9 follows the space up to its singularity. And when we were increasing the number of sides of the polygon was looking like a circle. As the number of sides of the polygon approaches infinity, it becomes a circle. As in all the polygons, we got number 9, it means number 9 also follows a space up to infinity. So it is clear that number 9 is present from singularity of space to the infinity of space. Now I will give you some more examples that will help you in believing that number 9 exists at all the places in the universe. Does number 9 has any relationship with time also? Yes, of course.
It's just like that movie 23.
It proves that number 9 is present everywhere in space and time. This is not all.
So what you think, King? That was a
Whack,
direct
bro. That
compliment.
movie was whack, bro. That shit was whack, bro.
Hey, that directly complimented you though.
Bro, 9. That's all he kept saying was 9, bro. I'm gonna see 9 everywhere, bro. I
Nine is
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
nine is a universal number, King. That's
Mm.
it.
I thought
Number
I seen
9.
the movie with I seen your boy what's his name what's the little young white boy name, the living color and all that did the Mask movie too. He was in the movie. What was it called? 23. He was saying
Oh,
23
Jim Carrey.
everywhere.
Jim
Yeah,
Carrey.
he was saying 23. Yeah, he was saying 23 everywhere. So what that mean?
Hey, I'm just telling you, you seen it for yourself.
I
9.
seen it for myself. It said minutes. Yes, you're right. It's everywhere. So what's the what is that? What does that mean, man? What does that mean? See, that's what I'm upset with you about. Now you got me on some old. Where we going with that?
Well, I mean, I'm
You
just
gonna get
saying
9
that. I mean,
spaceships?
no,
9 niggas?
no, 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 man. Just
9 different motherfucking planets.
no. It's a universal number, man. It's a unique number.
So I should just do everything from here on out 9. That what you telling me? I'm trying to figure out what's the whole meaning for me to know that 9 is the number, man. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like when I get in the universe, somebody gonna ask me how many numbers is it? I'm just trying to understand it. I'm
Hey,
trying to
so
understand, baby. What you think, What you think, Talk to me, man. Because Jamie hit me was, man, that was hardcore right there.
Hey, I think it's all relative, man. You open a mind and you see where it fits. Both of you guys was giving numbers, man. Neither one of that shit unless it adds up to some paper, right? And so,
I got
so I have
Jimmy
an
on.
open mind to. I have an open mind to see both because both of them was giving numbers. In your presentation, Prince, I think it said it stops at the flower and stops at 18. And then hold on. I think it said that it stopped and then they kept hidden. How come they didn't expand on that? Then they talked about the expansion of it. See, that was real tight to me. You know what I mean? So all this new shit, man. And these different perspectives, they spark an interest in my head, man. They spark an
I'm
interest.
just amazed that everybody got mad from my video. I'm so upset that everybody got mad from my video.
What'd you say?
I'm upset that everybody got mad from my video. Like
so I feel I'm upset now because you said that because I wasn't upset at all, and my wife was not upset. She was all for it.
I just didn't see it as a number thing. I saw it as a pattern. I never saw the numbers that y'all saw.
How many people brought up numbers? One person.
Everybody did. No,
I didn't bring that up. I didn't bring that up.
Somebody else
so everybody is excluded. So that word, that description, everybody is excluded. You feel me?
Whoa,
you feel
whoa,
me?
Killer, whoa,
so there again, we look at, what the fuck am I learning here, right? I'm learning one thing, that I have a perception, and is my perception right? Because my perspective of this is everybody wasn't included in the same shit as expressed by each individual, right? Because I don't fit in that everybody does this or everybody does that. And you know what I'm saying? I don't fit in that because I can tell you right now, we can talk list about 5 or 6 things and I'll tell you which one I do or I don't fit in. Right?
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And so that makes a difference to me. Right?
Well, I do apologize.
You recognize the number. You recognize that people talked about numbers. Jonathan's recognized that people are not basing things on the spirit, right? Jamie is bringing about relativity, right? Where it's all relative. And I'm saying, hey, you put me in the spot, man, and you put me in the wrong pocket, I'm gonna correct that ass.
Hey, listen. Hey, so but like, yeah, because listen, hey, seriously, man. Hey, because all it did was complimented your videos. That's all it did.
Man, it did not to me. It didn't. How about that?
No, because do you remember? You remember all the shapes, the elements? You remember the elements?
I saw that. Yeah,
okay, so all the elements that they show equals 9. King, that's why I told you to pay attention to the shapes.
Okay. All right, but see again.
And those are the elements. Those are the elements. Those were the elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was my
I just
point.
didn't see it. My whole point is I just did not see it the way y'all saw the numbers in it, the mathematics to it. I just didn't understand that part. I just thought it was a diagram, and you know, and
Well, then you learn
you know,
something. You learn something
I
then.
did learn something. I learned something every
Right,
day,
right,
every day,
right.
every
Hey,
day.
And your depiction of the diagram was really clear, man. It was really
yeah.
clear.
Yeah, but that, I'll be
You know?
honest with you, I got a, what do you call it, understanding issue when it comes to numbers, man. All I kept hearing was 9, 9, and then the way he was saying 9 was just like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? So I got an issue with that though, with math, man. Just never, I know how to count money like you wouldn't believe, but when it comes to that adding all that, yeah, I know dollar bills and subtracting and adding and all
Hey,
that.
Right, right.
hey, hey, Jonathan, go
So
ahead, man.
something.
Let me see what you talk about, man. What you think about the video, man?
Hey man, in all of it in the video, the brother showed they had the shape, um, you know, on a table that figure that was in his demonstration at a table next to it, where it showed the shape, where the rectangle, the triangle, in his video. And what I'm talking about is, growing beyond our own scope. Um, it's again, the man who knows he don't know nothing, man.
Oh
And we
man, oh
when
man,
and
oh
staying
Mr.
humble
Clayton Sport. I like you. I like you.
and trying to accomplish something beyond our own scope, it usually takes elements outside of ourselves. If the creator of all things, you notice in the numbers, the two numbers that were absolute was the one, meaning the beginning of it, and the number 9 represents born. Born. So it's a cipher. It's cyclical. No matter,
So it was the
no
beginning
matter
and born. You say that's a
the
cipher
beginning,
is
and
cyclical.
there's a proposed into a cycle or a cipher that 360 degrees. If you're
Right.
striving towards, if you're striving towards anything, um, patience is required, a willingness to learn is required, a humility is required. I can't teach the teacher coming in kindergarten. And if at any point in the process of giving birth, the woman tells the man no, the seed never makes it to the womb. There's some laws in place, and guy, what the guy in the numerical video we just watched, he was explaining the laws in number laws, like the inescapable reality. I thought that was real solid. And then getting to from your video how young man, I forgot your name, brother, and I apologize for that.
Prince.
But
Prince
in the
Cassius.
video
But
you
It wasn't
showed
even Jamie's day, Mr.
about
Jonathan, for him to
the
present anything.
360.
It wasn't even his day to present. This was my day. Now we debating over his video and my video. I ain't even feeling that.
That's
So
what you.
I was saying how
y'all.
another.
And we're gonna
I
get
was,
that every
but
week. Every week, no matter who present. No matter who present.
All right, I got
I
a Charlie Brown video. I'm gonna present after that. I'm gonna do it.
I think case in point is, if we're in it to get traction, like truly out of the meeting, that, in adding the two together, we really own this something. And to make it a fundamental thing, really it is about learning from each other what we could add to the little nook and cranny we in.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
over here, I'm doing things I never thought I would do in my life. I'm speaking to young men in the Jackson Academy Rehabilitation Center for Young Addicted Men. I'm volunteering in places that really could just use the help, that's community oriented. I go to church these days, and I don't agree with all the concepts, but I do draw that I'm able to contribute something to a community that's devoid of young Black men. I've sacrificed what I know and my understanding sometimes to be put into a position where it could be heard. By being in these environments, by acclimating to these environments, I'm able to give the wisdom that the Creator has given me, in a way, or be the example. And I think above and beyond anything I just said is the exercise in what I call myself believing in. Ain't nobody want to hear that. If I'm professing, if I'm speaking like Martin Luther King on the podium, but I walk right away and do something, do a 180-degree turn. Ain't nobody, especially in my community, we used to falsehood and fake. You know what I mean? I gotta have some integrity, some character, some fortitude, all the time. We in one of them situations where, for anything to have effect, people got to be able to believe in. And ain't no greater testimony than the way I live my life. And that's just where I'm at with it, man. 2 plus 2.
Let me ask a question real quick. Let me ask Jonathan a question.
That's
I
Pat. I'm gonna start calling
got
him
a
Buddha.
follow-up. I got a follow-up. So first I want you to tell me that quote that you I've heard it all over the place, but I hear from you that and then you just clarify it for me, because I can only paraphrase it from what you said. It's the more I learn, the more I know I don't know nothing. Tell me how you phrase it. Just a quick, just that phrase. Don't explain it. Just the phrase.
Man who knows he knows nothing.
So on that pretense, I totally disagree. Because, and this is my point. This is my point, man. Because we talking about going out into the field and nurturing people, man. And this is my statement, man. And I say this with an open mind because I've heard this, I've countered it. This ain't the first time, and so my statement is, if I know nothing, the fuck am I talking for?
Man.
Yeah. Now, what it means is, though, if I may, and it's simple. The point at which you think you know shit is the point where you ain't teachable no more. The whole concept.
I don't agree. I think it's okay
to know. That's all the statement
and I think there's a lot of maturity in it. Because I know more than what I knew before. I knew more because I looked at the default and I gleaned from let's just say higher understanding, different understandings, right? I gleaned from away from my default, right? And my point still is without the explanation, because that statement is made without the explanation, unless the explanation is asked. The statement is made. What the fuck am I talking for? I'm just up in front of these kids. I'm in front of the people that I'm in front of, what I'm speaking, you're supposed to glean from. I don't know shit.
Okay, and all I'm saying is, if that's all you hear out of what I said, you missed the whole
That's not
point.
what I hear. I'm saying that's what I gather. That's what I gather. I heard what you said, and I get it. I get it. But this is what. Let me just clarify, Jonathan. That's not what I got out of what you said. Is what I get out of what I hear and what I understand.
I'm gonna call that.
And that makes a difference to me. It's not for you to take it personal from me not gleaning from what you're saying. I'm saying I've heard this over and over again. I've even shared it a few times, and it don't fit, man. To me, not that it's not active, it's that I haven't been provided an example, an explanation that I can carry out with that, making that statement and leaving it like that.
Okay, well, maybe you should say it like this: the minute you stop learning, you start dying.
That's a whole
There you
different thing.
go. There you
Because what
go.
you
There you
said, because
go.
the way you let me
Same
finish.
way. You said it the same way.
I
Same
think
thing.
that's good. I think that's good. But what
I understand what
the
you said.
statement says, and the way that you explained it was, I stopped in maturity. There's no maturity with my knowing. Once I know, there's no maturity, and I disagree.
You can be mature.
You said that?
Because I think what you're saying, I think what you're saying is that the mass of the people. I think what I'm hearing is that the mass of the people that you glean from is that have advanced themselves and trying to get the recognition or something along that line. And you said that prior to. And what I'm saying is, man, I pick my words carefully, man. When I share with people and I study intently, and that's a really mature drive to have, right? And then I share off of, and here's another good nugget. Here's another good nugget for understanding.
Oh.
Am I speaking to learn or am I speaking to be heard? And I hope most of the time or more of the time that I'm speaking to learn, right? But I understand that I do both. And if I don't understand that I do both, there's a default.
I got you. What I understand is your chest be sticking out too dang far sometimes.
And that's not saying, Jonathan, that's all I got from what you heard. That's a discredit. That's a discredit for my respect for you, man. You know what I mean? I get way more than that. This is just a point that I'm bringing up against brothers. Let us come together and reason, right? And I think that statement is empty and misleading when you don't add on the part that you put on after when I
got what he said. I got what he said.
Yeah, I got what he said too, and I disagree on it. I got it.
I disagree with how you said it though. Like I disagree with how you saying it. He's not saying it that way. He's not saying it at the mature level. But I understood what he was saying. He was saying
that. But he said mature.
When you, yeah, he did. But if you get to
what the hell is the difference to understand? What's not to understand in that?
The mature part, like I thought he was about to explain that, saying you could be mature. And I guess what you about to say, mess up or something? You can't be mature.
You got a lot of people that are adults who stop learning at 5, 6, and 7 years old. Some traumatic happened.
I got you going on
they just close their mind to teaching and they don't grow no more. If that's what you want to focus on, the only point I was making is stay teachable, man. The more you learn, I've actually posted yesterday. The more I learn, the more I learn from my children. I stay humble, man. That's really, really all I'm saying. Is to stay teachable and you'll learn. It's the path and we own it. That's the only point I'm making. And it's, I'm starting to feel like a fish out of water over here.
No, you good, man. Don't feel like that, man. You got to ride with that. Because what I said was, what I said, Jonathan, was I appreciate guapa what you said. This just sparked my interest, and if you take that as offense, man, that is not my program.
No, I just your chest was sticking out so far.
What?
Because your chest was sticking out. You sound like you ready to get it in, bro.
No doubt.
Look at you, man. What, man? Whatever batch, bro. No more on the batch, bro. Take that one out. I don't want that.
No doubt. Hey,
you
got ready to get it in, man. That's what I get on for, man. I'm ready to get it in. I'm ready to get it in outside and inside, man. We nurturing each other, man. And then we take the shit personal. When we take it personal, man, and say, a person talks 10, 15 minutes, man. We can pick out any one thing. And some people, I'm not specifying. I'm just saying some people will say, oh shit, you collapsed my whole conversation because you brought up this one point. That's all you got out of it. That ain't all I got out of it. It's just the point I brought up. I respect you. I respect what people say, man. I respect everybody on this panel and what they say, man, and I'm learning from it. you know? So
Hey, just so we're clear, I just wanted to say that my this is where I stand. I don't I am not an atheist, right? I think okay, I'm gonna tell you this here. Because I know that there's something out there that's greater than me, right? I just don't know what it is, and I just don't want to use no label or no title or whatever, right? Because you just don't know what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? So usually people use the name something that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So they don't understand creation, so they make up a god. They go, okay, well, they make up all this whole story and and all this, but I'm just saying, I personally, I know that there's something out here, it's a force out here that's greater than us. Okay. We just don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you call it. Okay.
God.
So yeah, okay, well, you call it that if you that's what you want to call it, right? All right, but I'm just gonna call it a force because God is where it came from is a Germanic word, right? So again, you got to go back to the English language, which is the trash can of languages.
But what is the force, man? The force is God too. So
I mean, you call it what you want, man. Like that's a Western. That's us as okay. So check this out. So check this out. Kemetic thought, right? There's no word in the Kemetic language for God, right?
Word.
Not one. You can't find it nowhere.
You can just say
nowhere. You can't find it. You can't find it. You can't find it nowhere, right? Right? You can't find it nowhere. So
what did they call him then?
What they call who?
They didn't call it. They utilize natures and natural.
They study nature, man. They revered the sun. They revered water.
They revered the sun. They revered water. So they had no God at all. They said there was no God.
They didn't use that word God, man.
They didn't use none of that,
man. But they did qualify.
They had natures. They had natures. They had natures, which is called nature, which came from nature. So they called natures or nature rules, right? If that's what you're talking about, like you talking about
what I'm talking about, Jamie. I'm talking about, did they recognize a higher power like you?
They recognize
them. They recognize nature. They recognize themselves as higher power.
And who did they say created all of that?
See, now here you go though. Now see, that's a biblical answer, a question. See, now you get to where did this start? Who created this? And who did what? Hey, listen, man. That's a good question.
You wouldn't ask that question.
It's a good question.
You wouldn't ask that question?
I'm sure that they had theories. They had theories too. Just like everybody else do. Right? Everybody got a theory. That's not unusual. That's not unusual. Just like what we showed today. What we showed today. That's just another theory, King. It's a theory.
That's a theory, but it's in front of you. How's that a theory?
So you're saying that that's a fact, that's how God came about.
No, that's a fact in the sense of
right.
Yeah.
So that's a theory. You can't say that that's a fact. You can't say that that's a fact, King.
No. You said last week we had two questions. You said knowledge and religion. Or what was it? Knowledge or belief. What was it? What was it?
Knowledge or belief.
Belief and knowledge. Knowledge or belief. So science is facts. They going looking for that. They going to look for that. So they went into nature. Somebody had to go into nature.
Listen,
all these people in the past.
Before you go any further,
can I finish, brother? Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Please,
go ahead.
My brother. They walked in nature like the nature rules probably did as well. Nature rules, and they saw these prints on frogs, on the flowers, on the rose, on everything. The pattern was everywhere. Then they went and dissected it to break it down into parts and got all the way down to that one circle and said, damn, that's God. And then he went there, and then he went there, and then he went there. And that's how this whole flower and this symbol came about. That's facts.
You
Not an
can't say
opinion.
that, man. You can't say that, King.
Whoa, what?
So you saying that this is how God came about. You telling us right now
I'm
on
telling
live
you that they went
YouTube
out.
that this is how
Uh-huh.
God came. God was
This
created
is. That's
through
right. This is his
geometry.
creation. No, God was created by himself. And how he did that was he was in darkness, but he felt consciousness. He knew it was something there. And he moved to a point where it stopped and he made light. Boom.
So
There
now
was the light.
what about the people that says that uh that that uh that you know so my question is this, man. What about the people, right, that don't have a clue about this God, man? Don't know nothing about this God.
Right. So that's how I'm breaking it down to you. That's how I'm breaking it down. I'm out, me and you out. We natural rules. We out in nature. We see the bumblebee beehive. We see that square. We see that diagram. Then we see what is sunflower. Sunflower got the same thing. Then we see a rose or a dandelion. It's got the same pattern. Then we see a frog. It's got the same pattern on it, and everything got the
But
same
hold
pattern.
it though, you
So then we
skipping something, man.
hold up.
You cheating. You
How,
cheating though.
baby? How am
You
I
cheating
cheating?
though.
How am I cheating? How am I cheating?
Because now
How am
we
I
talking
cheating?
about
Okay.
this. We talking about this God that created
And
itself.
I'm going there. I'm going there with you. I'm going there.
Okay.
You just won't let me get
All
there.
right. So this a
So
God. So you telling us how God got here.
right. Now I'm
Yeah.
telling you how they thought God got here is what I'm telling you how the geometric came to be about. So they found this pattern. Then they did the mathematics and broke it down. They
Okay.
broke it down. And when they
Okay.
got down to that single one, that's how they was like, damn, this must be how God created God himself. He was in dark black matter, like our galaxy is. That's what we floating in. Dark black matter. And all of a sudden he said, there's gotta be more to this. And he went to a point of his thought, his consciousness, and said, boop, and there was another consciousness. And then he moved to the outer layer of that one. And boom, came another consciousness. And then boom, and another. And he just kept getting smarter, just like AI, artificial intelligence. That's how AI works. The longer it goes about, it learns, it gets smarter. That's how they figured out that was the diagram that God put here on planet Earth.
Okay.
It's
All right.
everywhere.
All right.
So the
So
dogmatic.
let me say this to you right quick. First of all,
Yes, sir.
facts change in science. Facts change. Okay,
Definitely.
they change. So okay.
All the time.
So all right. So now with that diagram you just showed, that ain't gonna is that gonna change or is that gonna stay the same?
It already has. It
So
already
it
has.
changed already.
It did. It did change already. But the only reason it changed is this dude was smart as hell, and he put a program into that sequence of diagram, and man, he bent it somehow and made a whole new. So that blew that out the water. That last, and I'm gonna show y'all that. I'm gonna send y'all both that video. But that, yes, he embedded a program in it, and it went beyond that, and it made different curvages in the same
And
God pattern.
and it
So
showed
what did that say?
and it showed them God.
Right. So no. What it said was God is infinite. That's what it said, because he made another pattern. So then here comes another pattern, and then here comes another pattern. Bro, come on, man. That meant that was an infinite, just like you said, everything keeps going. Ain't nobody, hey, we just gonna shell out this shell and go to the next level of consciousness. We always
Okay.
gonna be conscious because we got that soul in us. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying? And this is
Yeah.
just a shell. But that's all I'm
Right.
saying, bro. That's the only way I
Yeah.
could say that they came about at figuring out that God complex, because that's mathematics, like you just said. The added, subtracted, and look how they broke down the triangle, the square, the hexagon, all of that, and all of that is. It was like it couldn't be coincidence when it made the eye. Come on, that blew me away. If you pull back and you look at the galaxy, if you just pull back our space and look at the galaxy, that should look like an eye too, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just not coincidence, you know. And then it's got the swirl. The galaxy has the swirl too. Everything's got the swirl. Everything, man. And it's an infinite swirl because either way you go, it's never gonna end. You go whip it forward, whip it back. It's never gonna end. It never comes to an end.
Hey man, you
And
ain't
that's
talking
what.
about nobody but us, man. That's all you talking about, man. You ain't talking about
Hell no,
nobody
I
but
can
us.
dig it, baby.
That's
I
all you
can
talking
dig
about,
it,
man.
baby.
All you talking about is us, man. That's what you talking about, man. Now you see that now we can say we can go to science and you can say about the single organisms and all this kind of stuff, right? Right? And then they multiply, and then they multiply, and then they multiply, and then they turn into
Say nothing.
a living organism, right? Huh?
Right. Even that, Jamie, does not. It doesn't end. You can look.
Right.
They have went
Right.
and looked
And
on the
then,
eye
but
of
hold
a
on though,
fly
hold on. But that's
and
where life
found
starts.
bacteria.
But that's
Yeah,
life though. That's where life starts.
it's
Okay,
probably
so you
something
can
on the
say
bacteria.
right. So you can say that that's life then. So we can say that that's where life starts, right?
I don't think about life like that. I think about how it never ends. It's not an end. That's what they found out, bro. They thought they found the God particle, but then it was another particle behind that. And then there's another particle behind that. And then another one behind that. It's an infinite journey, bro.
And
God did
you
not
just
say,
and all you doing is this whole time is looking for yourself. That's all the hell you doing the whole damn
I found,
time. When you looking
bro,
through them numbers
I found
and you
myself
turn
in
them
you.
numbers and
I found myself in everybody
soon
I
as you
meet, bro.
hey, so you keep on flipping them numbers and flip them numbers, and all you gonna do is you know what you gonna end up with? You. That's all you still gonna end up with, right? 9 ethers, King.
Oh,
Number
no.
9,
Oh,
the
no.
9 ethers. Hey, you better pay attention. Number
I
9,
am paying
the
attention, but I
nine
know damn
ethers,
well I'm
right?
not. I'm a piece of God, but I'm not God.
Nine
I'm not
ethers.
God.
Yeah.
I'm just
Nine
saying, Jamie,
ethers.
man.
Hey,
You can
hey,
disagree all
hey.
you want.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just telling you that.
I
Hey,
hear your
I'm
point.
saying that.
I hear
I'm
your
saying
point.
it's a possibility. Hey, okay.
It
So
is.
that, I mean,
It
it
is,
could be,
man. But why? Okay, okay,
But
can I
right
ask you a
now,
question, Jamie? Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a
all I
question?
can talk
Can I ask
about
you a
is what I
question?
can prove,
Can I ask you a
man.
question? Can I ask you
Yep.
a question? Can I ask you a question? Why? How? Okay, because this is what gets me. How can you not believe that a higher power created all it is? Like, come on, like, okay, this is why. That's what I get confused about. Is how a person cannot think that there is this higher power that's got Earth floating in dark matter, bruh.
I said that
I
I
don't
listen.
think that is the. I don't think
Listen.
that is the point that they
I
don't
didn't.
think that something created. Is that there's no proof that of what is described had created it,
It
right?
ain't what you calling it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It ain't.
yeah.
It ain't.
Look,
It
look,
ain't
look.
this
Just
much.
because I'm
Hey,
saying it
listen.
a different
It ain't
way,
the
just
motherfucker
because
that
I'm
was.
saying
That,
it a
it ain't
different
the
way, don't
motherfucker
mean
that met. I'm saying it is not the same person that met Moses on the mountain. Is what I'm talking about,
man. Ain't
King.
nobody
This is what
talking
I'm
about
talking about.
Moses on no mountain,
I'm
man.
talking
That's
about this is the
bull.
same person that's met Moses on the mountain. This is what I'm talking about, right? Because see,
Oh,
this is so.
man.
Because listen. As soon as a person agree with you, now we can move on to uh the cat on the mountain, right? We can
You ain't
move to
gotta
him
agree.
then,
You ain't
right? And
gotta
then we can
agree,
talk. We can
bro. You
start
ain't
talking
gotta
about
agree,
him
bro.
and
You ain't
learning
gotta
about
agree.
him
Hell
after that,
no.
right?
Hell
Yeah,
no. Because I'm
yeah.
with the
Because I mean,
pyramids. I'm
it
at
would
the
be
pyramids
easy
now,
for
bro.
you to. It'd
Nah,
be
man.
easy for you
Nah, it
to
wouldn't. It
fall into
wouldn't.
that though. It'd be real
It
too
wouldn't.
easy.
It's not. It
Yeah,
wouldn't.
it's way
Not at
too
all,
easy.
bro.
Yeah,
Not at
yeah.
all,
So
bro.
what's
Not
the
at all.
difference then? Tell me
Not
what
at
the
all.
difference is.
The difference is I'm too smart for that bullshit, Jamie, man. You know
You doing the
what
same thing. You just ain't naming it.
I'm saying? No, I'm not. I look. There is a name to it, and I
Well,
call him
name it then.
name it.
Yeah, well, whatever you call it, this guy. What's his name?
Man, the G-O to the jizzle, baby. You know what I'm saying? That
Okay.
Yahweh, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right, right.
Jehovah
See, there
Jah,
we
you
go. See,
know what
there
I'm
we
saying?
now we getting somewhere. Now we getting somewhere.
Allah, you know what I'm
Now
saying?
we getting somewhere.
What was it?
Now,
Namaste, namaste, you know what I'm
right.
saying? What the Japanese say?
Now we
Again,
getting
don't
somewhere.
king. You feel me?
Now we getting
I'm
somewhere.
saying them all.
Now,
I'm saying
now
them
we getting
all. But
somewhere.
I
There
know
we
it's
go.
somebody that I
Right,
know it's somebody,
right,
bro. I know
right.
it's
So
somebody.
there it is. So now that was my point. That was my point from the whole start. I know that was the
Can
whole.
I bring up
That,
who you said God was? Can I bring up who you said God
ain't no
was since we
question.
live and we went
Yeah, yeah.
live? All
Yes, you
right, all
can.
right. Hold on.
Yes,
Let me
you
line it
can.
up. Let me line it up. Let me line it up.
Hey, hold on. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
get
me
back
and
on in
Jamie,
just a minute. All right, I'm gonna get back on in
All
a
right.
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Hey,
me and Jamie was having a discussion one night, and it was of this same conversation on God. And guess who Jamie's God actually really is? Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead, Jamie.
okay. So I'll tell you who my God. My God is my mama, right? That's who my God is, who gave birth
You
to
said it
me.
was your wife, yo. You said it
Okay,
was your wife the other day, man.
so
Dang,
listen
so
to
you
this.
switched up.
So listen to this. So
All
listen
right,
to this. Hold on, no, I haven't switched up because listen,
all right.
if we go to the dictionary and we look up, we can go to the dictionary and I can pull it up right now and share it if you want to, man. We can go through the dictionary and we can look up the definitions for the word God, right? You're gonna see one adored, one admired, right? Worthy of worship, right? Right. So I adore and I admire my woman. I adore and I admire my mother. Yes, I do. Yeah, right. Hey, also another definition is one who is who's in control of certain aspects of creation. So listen, my mother is in control of certain aspects of
Man,
creation
that's that
through the
bullshit,
9 month
bro. That's that
gestation track. No,
bullshit,
it's
bro.
not, King.
That's that
No, it's not, King.
bullshit, bro. That's
No,
that
it's
shit.
not, King.
That's
No, it's
that's
not.
that noise that the brother be like, man, watch out with all that, bro.
No, it's
Man, you
not.
tripping,
No,
bro.
it's
Watch
not,
out,
King. No,
man.
it's not.
Yeah, it is,
Because
man. You
no,
trying to like
because so
fluctuate all the words and all that shit to make it
no, that's what
sound
it
good, but
is.
no.
I'm just
When they
trying to
talk
tell you
about
what it
God,
is.
they talk about God. God created your mother, so that's what I'm speaking
Nah,
on,
man.
bro.
No. Listen, man. Listen. This is not so. What I'm saying is this: you can't prove nothing about no God, King. You can
Yeah, I
never prove
can.
that.
Yeah,
No,
I can, bro.
you could never
He
prove
made
that,
it
King.
all. Oh shit, bro. He made it all, bro. It
You
ain't
could
no
never
proof.
prove. You
It
could
ain't no
never
reason to
show
prove it.
nothing.
It's
You
proof.
could never. There's no way
Proof.
you could prove that.
Yeah, I can, bro. Look at this. Watch this. Boom. Look at that.
That ain't nothing, man.
Boom. Look at that.
What is that? What does that
Boom.
got to do with anything, man?
Look. Boom.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
God.
Because without
That's
that sun
God.
up there, you look up. Without that
God.
sun up there,
What about it? Yeah.
without that, would none of that
Yeah.
shit grow. Would none of that shit grow.
That's God too. Huh?
What? What?
You feel me? That's God
Okay.
too.
So
We need
all
to
I'm
got a
saying
nice
is
life.
this. All I'm saying is this, man. Hey, listen. All I'm saying is this, man. All I'm saying is I don't my mother, I know that gave birth to me. I know that nurtured me. That was my savior. That was my sustainer, right? Because I know without my mama, I'd have died. Damn, whatever God you believe in, it don't matter what God you believe in. Had my mother not fed me, hey, I'd have died, right? It don't matter
You're right.
about no
You're right.
God. Don't matter about no damn God because if she don't feed me, I'ma die. Am I right or wrong, man?
You're right.
Okay, so then
Right.
look here, man. So if my mama don't take care of me, what's gonna happen, man? I'ma die, man. So that's your
Man, you
God.
got.
That's your first teacher. That's your first teacher. That's your nurturer. That's your sustainer. That's your savior. I don't give a damn what nobody
So,
say. Oh yeah, all
bro,
day long.
a lot of dudes ain't look. I ain't even grow up with my mom, bro. So what you trying to say, bro?
You
Like,
might
my
not
God
have,
left
but
me, bro.
she
You
gave
trying to
birth
tell me?
to you.
So
Hey,
my God left me, but my
You
God left.
here though.
My God
You
left.
here.
Oh, now it's I'm here. My God forgot about me, huh?
You
Man,
here.
that's crazy.
You here.
That's crazy, bro. That's
You
crazy.
here,
That
man.
does not
You here.
sustain. That does not. That's not
It don't
the
take.
juice, bro.
Listen,
Like,
it don't take away the definition meaning of the word God that's
what's up?
attributed to the woman, man. Period. Okay.
It does.
No, it don't.
The
No,
woman.
it don't.
The
No,
woman. The
because
woman is holy. The woman is holy. Without
if
her,
you
there
look
is
up
no
the
life.
word, look up the dictionary, look up the dictionary meaning, and we're gonna find that we can attribute this to your mom. You can attribute this to your
I'm not
wife.
doing that. I'm not doing none
Yeah,
of
you
that, bro.
can.
I ain't got
Yeah,
no
you
wife,
can.
bro. What you mean, bro?
I'm just
I
trying to tell
am
you, man.
single. Do you feel me?
Yeah,
No, you're not
okay.
telling me. My mama wasn't there, and I'm single. So what you tell my God sucks, bro? That's why them ain't my God.
Exactly. God sucks. And if you gonna call on a God, some God in the
Yeah, I'm gonna
Bible,
call on my mother.
hey, listen, I tell you about it. I put it like this here, King. I can make a phone call right now. My mama answer me.
Bro, that's what's up, bro. And
So
well,
God,
hey, whoop de doo.
So
Whoop
tell
de
me,
doo.
tell me the cat that can look up in the sky and talk to God and he gonna talk back.
Me, man. And he talk back, bro. He may not
Yeah.
talk to you because you don't believe, but he talk to
So
me,
he
bro.
talked to you,
He keep me straight, bro. Hell yeah,
and
he talk to me, bro. That's
and do
why
he
I'm at
do
where I'm
and
at, and
does
I
he?
be where I be.
And so let me ask you this: does he
That's why I ain't in
things for
jail.
you?
That's why I ain't in the pen. Yeah,
Do
he
he do
do. He bless me every day, bro. He bless
every
me. He
day?
look out for me all
Every
the
day.
time, bro. Even when I'm going through
Okay.
rough times, I'll be like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He teaching me a
Right.
lesson, but or he got me. It's a lesson to be learned in what I'm going through. But besides that, bro, I wake up happy. You know why? Because I woke up. Man, watch that,
Okay.
man.
Right. Okay. So
I
then why don't you
woke
take,
up.
hey, so then do me a favor, man. Do me one favor, please.
Look here, I'm gonna
One
do you
favor.
two favors.
No, just do me
I'm gonna do
one.
you two favors.
I just want you to
Let's
do
do
me one.
two.
Take you and your
Maybe
guy
two.
and go to that children's hospital, the closest one to you, and ask and
Mm.
tell him to do you that just one favor. Just one.
Ooh.
You ain't got to do a whole bunch.
Ah.
It's a whole bunch of kids there. But all you
Ah.
got to do is just have him,
Ah.
just ask him to do you one favor for me, man.
Jamie,
And ask
Jamie,
him
I'm
to
gonna take you up
heal
on that, B.
one of
I'm
them
gonna take you
kids.
up on that, bro.
Take you
All
and your
right,
God up
all
there.
right.
Take you and
Oh
your
yeah,
God
for
up there,
some.
man,
You
for
you
me,
you
man.
come scoop
And
me
just
up because you
and
got to
just
be a witness to it.
and
You
just
got to
pick
be a
up
witness
and
to
just
it.
pick one of the rooms and go into
I sure
there
will.
with your
I sure
God
will.
and walk
Yup.
out of there with that child, man.
I can't walk out of there. They're gonna like
I
Jamie.
mean,
I
walk
can't
out
walk
of
out
there
of
with the parents, the child, and the child is gonna be good to go.
there. Now it might not be right then and there, man. It might take a day or two, bro. Like
No, this
Lazarus
guy, King.
rose on
Wow,
the
now wait a
seventh day.
minute, King. Wait a minute,
When
this
did
guy,
Lazarus
King.
rise? Up on the third day or
This
something? When did Lazarus?
this guy, King. We can't say nothing about what God
I
can't do,
feel
man.
you, bro,
All
but
right,
God don't be
so yeah,
rushing it sometimes, man. He got a
okay,
lot of people to
right,
deal with, bro.
okay.
It
So
takes
you'll do that
time
for me then.
sometimes.
You'll take him up
I
to the
do
children's
that. As
hospital.
long as you take me up there and we go up there together, we see the child, I will be in so much meditation
No,
all the way up there.
I'm not your
We'll
God.
get
I'm
there.
not your God.
Whoa, bro,
You
you
don't
gotta
need
be
me.
witness to that.
No,
You
no,
gotta
you
be
don't need
witness
me.
to it,
I ain't
man.
your God. You
Nah,
don't
there ain't no
need
reason.
me.
God ain't
Just
gotta
take
he ain't gotta prove
that's
himself to me, bro. You gonna prove. Not
no
me,
you
baby. See what I'm saying?
no man. I'm
I
saying
don't
I
need the
don't want no
proof. I
proof.
know it.
I already know it ain't gonna it ain't hey, you can go up to them
Man,
people,
what you mean?
you gonna go to the people house, them people room, and you gonna embarrass your damn self. That's what the hell you gonna do,
I'm not gonna embarrass myself. You gonna embarrass yourself when he come up and slap the hell out your ass, Jamie. That's what's gonna happen. God gonna reach back with that powder in his hand and pop
Hey,
shit out
yeah,
you.
I'm gonna slap shit out his
He
ass
gonna get
back
him.
too.
He
I'm
gonna
trying
change
to
you,
tell
bro. He
you.
gonna change you up. He gonna change you up.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying? That's blasphemy, dude. You can't strike at God, man. Look, you
man,
gonna bow down in the presence of that man, bro. Ain't nothing but power, baby.
listen,
What
man.
you saying, Mr.
I don't
McClay?
subscribe to
What
that,
you
King.
saying?
So I don't subscribe to that. So
Right, bro. And so that's the atheist. You feel
no,
me?
it
Or you
ain't.
could be
Nah,
maybe
I
you could be
don't. Nah.
agnostic. Agnostic. I'm putting in that category. Maybe you're agnostic. How about that? You use something. Man, I feel for brothers like you, bro. I really do. To know that there is no how. I met another dude like you, but he was like, he was God. I make everything my way. I make it happen my way. And I was just like, yeah, all right.
I'm just gonna tell you this here, man. When I look for a higher power, King, I look for myself. That's what I look for.
Ooh, that's cold blooded, man. That's cold blooded,
That,
bro.
that's it. Cause I am my higher power, King. I
I
am
ain't
my higher
mad at
power.
you,
That's
man.
it.
I am not mad at
That's
you,
it.
man.
I'm
I
not gonna
got
look outside
10,000 on mine.
myself. I'm not gonna look outside myself for nothing to help me, man. Nah, man.
I got 10,000 loyal to me, bro.
And if you want to use that word God, then yep, I can call my mama. I can call my
Man, your
right.
mama ain't finna bust nothing,
I can
bro.
call my mama and if we're gonna use that word God, that's my God. And I can call
Your
my
mom ain't
God.
finna
And guess
bust
what?
nothing,
My
bro.
God gonna answer me. And my God, right? But you can't go and like I told you and get no answer from now another God that you looking up in the
No,
sky
that's
for.
what you keep saying.
You ain't gonna
That's what
do
you
it.
keep saying. I'm telling
You
you,
ain't
he
gonna do
talks to
it.
me. My God
Hey,
speaks to me,
that's
bro.
you talking to you.
Bro.
I don't give a damn
Nah,
what
that ain't
nobody
me talking
say.
to me.
You
That ain't me
talking to
talking to
you.
me. If you talking to me, I'll be
And
in
you know
some
what? Because
pussy
I
right
used to
now. I'm
talk to
telling you,
God
bro.
too. I used to talk to
Man,
him
you ain't
too.
talking to
I
God,
used to
man.
talk
No,
to
you
him too.
ain't.
Yeah,
How you gonna say you talk
and
to
I
him
used to,
too and you don't
yeah,
believe him?
I used to pray. I used to talk to God. God used to talk back. And then I woke my ass up and said, "Nigga, wake
And you
up, nigga,
woke
because
your
that ain't
ass
that we
up
know that
and
that's
just
you
said God.
talking
And
back to
nah,
you."
something happened.
Well, what he
Something
sound
happened. What
like?
happened, bro?
What he
What
sound like,
happened? You
man?
tell me.
What he
This
sound
is
like?
God. This is God. What, Mr. Clayton? God got a sense of humor, man. You over there looking all tough
No,
face,
man.
man. God got a
Hey,
sense
I'm
of
just saying, man. You better
Nah,
stop
nah, I'm
that,
just
man.
saying too, man. Something
Stop
happened.
that,
No, you
man.
better stop it because something happened in your life, man, when you just said there ain't no God no more, bro. Like real
Ah,
talk,
man.
man.
Because and listen, man. Because the God of the Bible is what I'm talking about. Now, I ain't talking. Listen, I'm talking about the God of the Bible, the
Okay,
God of the Quran.
it's not my God.
Ain't got I ain't got nothing to do with them cats. cats.
Me neither, dog. Me neither. I'm with you with that. We
Okay.
on the same
I
page.
don't want nothing to do with them cats. Hey,
Look, man, look. Even giving praises. Look, even giving
hey,
praise.
hey,
Come on, man.
hey, I'm gonna tell you, the God of the Bible. Hey, he's a killer. Hey man, I don't
Yeah,
want nothing to do
killer,
with
ain't he,
him.
bro?
Hey,
Yeah,
straight killer,
killer,
man.
bro, ain't he?
I don't
Yeah,
want nothing
straight
to do with
killer,
him. Hey,
boy.
listen, man, I'm finna close this out, man. I'm gonna close this out, King. Hey, we can finish up,
Amen.
man. After I'm gonna close out real quick, man, but we can finish up.
Yeah,
Hey, so
already,
thanks
already.
family for listening. Uh, uh, like I said, we got a book read coming up. I think it's next week.
Yep.
Isaiah will be doing his book read, and please, family, get your kids, nephews, nieces, grandkids, and get them together, man. Let's participate. Again,
You get a book. You get a book.
all participants, we'll do a drawing, and and whoever wins, we ship them a book free of
You get
charge,
a book.
right? And then we just hope that the child will participate in the next book read, right? Uh, so just pay attention, family. Like I said, like and subscribe and share. And I appreciate your attention. Uh, Jen, you want to close out? I don't know if she around right now. Hey, we'll come back around. Hey, Jonathan, you want to close out, King?
Yeah. But I close out in spirit. I don't know what context you mean if you don't believe it died. Where you want me to what?
Man, do what you
Pledge
feel,
allegiance
Mr.
Just do
to
what
McClane,
you
man.
want
God.
to
What you
do. You
mean?
do what you want to do,
You do,
King.
man. Everybody allowed here, baby.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Hold on, you're
Dear
breaking up
Lord,
a little bit. Oh, you're breaking up, King. Start all over.
all right.
Yep, you good.
Action.
To the essence of all things, the creator and progenitor, author of all understanding, I thank you for this opportunity to commune with these young men. To my ancestors and their ancestors and their ancestors' ancestors who have come and identified your energy, spirit, I pay homage to you at this particular moment. Father, we thank you and for all that you have been to us and all that you have given us, that we might have this moment to grow, the freedom to have this moment to commune and dine on a higher set of thought, uh, acknowledgement of the spirit, contrary to any understanding that we have of our own. We know that you're the author of it, that you're the beginning of it, and you'll be the finisher. We just thank you for the opportunity to know that children have a place in this movement, and we ask you for a continued strength that we all could care a little bit more of the bearing, that part necessary that these kids might know it's not for show, that traction might come as a result of this movement, that these words might turn actually into a movement that'll make a difference in society that needs higher thought, spiritually, mentally, morally, emotionally higher thought. That somewhere, somebody in these institutions that stand at present might congeal, and that the valley of dry bones, those who hope for something better, might have an opportunity to grow. In Jesus' name, I say this prayer. I said, in Jesus' name, I say this prayer. Amen. Thank y'all, man.
Yeah.
Already.
Prince, go ahead and close out, King.
Already. Hey, to all the men out there, worship and take care of the woman. She deserves it. She is life. She is what, and she a God in a sense. You hear me? Love each other. Uh, learn something every day. Seek God and knowledge and wisdom, and all else will be revealed. Peace and love. War. Oh, good God. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Remember that. I love y'all. Peace and love. Peace and
All
love.
right.
House.
Hey, Jen, did you? I hope you're back. Hey, Jen, did you want to close out? Are you there?
You there, Jen? You there? I don't think so. We gotta talk to her next time about this here, brother. It can't be just
Hey,
leaving the daggone discussion, dude.
hey, but yeah, man. So look, man. Hey, Prince, you did a damn good job, man. I really, really appreciate the presentation, man. Hey,
I appreciate it.
I really, really, that was real interesting, King. Yeah, I could get into that. I really can get into that though. I can get into that, man. I
We're gonna
never,
get into it. We're gonna get into it. But
yeah,
we're gonna get
I
into it.
never knew that that geometrics or geometry was laying like that, man. But hey, love you, Jonathan, man.
All right.
Peace to
Thank
you,
you, Jonathan.
King.
Peace and love.
Gentlemen, man. Be up on you. Yeah.
Peace. But yeah, man. I mean, I did learn something, man. I did. I honestly did, man, and I appreciate that. And that I'm gonna look more into that, man. We can get into that a little bit more, man. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that, man.
Yes, sir. And
But
I want
yeah,
to
I
say something
appreciate you
too,
though, King.
man.
I appreciate that, man. That was something new, different, sweet, man.
I
Nice.
appreciate that. Hey, man. Blessings, man. Much respect. But I want to tell you, like I told Lorenzo, and I tell the world, it don't bother me. But man, I love you like a brother, man. I am so thankful you, my big dog. I'm so thankful you, my big brother. I'm so blessed that I met you and him. This journey has just got started, and hopefully we have us a podcast going where we be up on it and really get this going. And I think it's a dream team. So us three are definitely hitters. You gotta get it, Lorenzo. That little attitude.
No, that
But hey,
brother.
that's what
Hey,
it do. That's what it
that's
do.
right,
That's
man.
what it do.
That's what this